One.
Let's go.
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this wonderful Feel-Good Friday, June 2nd, 2023, this sports program starts now.
Feel good!
Friday it is, too. It has been an amazing week, and obviously it's only a 4-day week because we had Monday off so that we could say thanks to those who signed a line and then are passed on and are still bigger badasses than any of us that are speaking into this microphones are. But it's been a great 4 days. A lot of things have happened. And last night, the NBA Finals tipped off. We had real live sport from one of the power leagues in the United States of America. And we saw real power out of the team from Denver, Colorado. It really does feel like this is the year for the Nugs. Not only did they have to get through a little bit of a tough West Coast, but now that they're squaring off against this Miami Heat team who played piss poor.
Yeah,
didn't play well.
You can say that.
Hey, missing a lot of shots. Was that the thin air? Were they not?
been.
Is the ball
Could've
dropping
been.
differently than at 6 feet at 1,500, 280 feet, or 5,280 feet, or maybe in Boston with that mucka just like Boston people?
Yes.
Is the air a little thicker maybe there? So are they going to have to get used to the thin air so they can make some shots? Seems like this was a Lakers issue as well whenever they're playing in Denver against the Nugs. But nonetheless, that team is electrifying. The arena is the exact same. They were blowing the shit out of the Miami Heat until a fourth quarter run that the Miami Heat had. The Nuggets still cover the 9-point spread. Got a little closer than any of us could have thought it was going to get late there. But congrats to the Nuggets taking one of the league.
Hell yeah.
Now, if you listen to all the South Florida marks that are big-time fans of the Miami Heat, have been for a long time because they have won in the past and they have had very, very, very high-profile humans on that team.
Big time.
And now they're South Florida Panthers fans.
Sure, they like hockey.
Okay, we guess you are. Now, granted, if this is what the Florida Panthers are going to be, what they have been over the last couple of years, last year they scored more goals than anybody, then they get in the playoffs and they just kind of collapsed. This year they're in the fucking Stanley Cup Finals. They could be a team for the foreseeable future. So welcome to hockey down there in South Florida. But if you listen to the South Florida folks talk about the Miami Heat, they go, anytime Miami Heat have won, they've never won game one. What are we even fucking talking about?
Of course.
Okay, it's going to get ugly. Sure, there's been a couple series earlier this season where teams that would go on to win the series actually lost by like 30 in a game.
Yeah.
That can happen in the NBA playoffs where it's a best-of-7 series. It's a lot of basketball. People just show up some nights and can't make shit. Sometimes they're a little tired. They're not as quick. Does not mean anything for game two. With that being said, this Nuggets team appears to be the reason why other teams have the worst games that they have. And that doesn't really get chatted about enough. And I think this Joker guy, and obviously Jamal Murray coming into his own, like bubble Jamal Murray here once again, they are fun to watch.
Unreal.
They had the 2-time MVP on their team in his Joker character, couldn't get on TV.
Yep.
Ever.
You win a championship, will they be able to get on TV? I fucking hope so.
Should.
It'd be good for the NBA. I like their coach, too. He seems to have great personality. And I like that we have actual sports happening, even though it was seemingly a very boring blowout last night in Denver to tip off the NBA Finals. We got the NHL this week.
Here we go.
We got golf this week.
What?
We got a lot of things happening in the sports world, and we're going to enjoy the hell out of today. Hopefully, we'll get some of your phone calls as well on the 5 Hour Energy phone line. Go 1-833-432-3663 or 1-833-4... What are your favorite moments from the week? Let's hear about it on the phone call. I do appreciate the callers coming in and congratulating us and me. I am very thankful for that. Let's just go. You know,
Yeah, we're past it. It's like
We're
a
past
happy
it.
New
Congratulations.
Year. Exactly.
You know, and it's only been a few weeks, a week or so for everything. But we appreciate the congratulations. We are still catching heat. That interview I did with Jimmy Traina on that SI Media podcast, I think I laid out a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't
Absolutely.
see where I'm coming from or where we're coming from, I hope that you'll just have a little bit of trust that when we get on ESPN, the show will still resemble what this particular program is. And we're always going to be us idiots until we're not, and then we're just going to disappear.
Bingo.
Exactly.
That's been the plan since the beginning, and nothing has changed at all. But I have enjoyed kind of this entire time, and we are thankful for it. Let's get right to the shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean on the phone? Let's
Come
get
in,
right,
throw in.
I do.
let's get
Congrats
right
again.
to it.
Yeah.
Because you're helping us. The reason why we're going phones, you know what? We don't have anything right now.
Exactly.
Give us something.
We don't have anything right now because our show is very structured, obviously.
Of course.
We're going to talk about this, and we're going to talk about this, and we're
What?
going to talk about this.
What?
And there's no chance that this potentially leads to this
No.
down here.
Hey.
It never
Nope.
happens.
And then we're just kind of bouncing around every once in a while. Now, my brain, I think, since the beginning of time, since my existence, has always been able to kind of bang, bang, boom, boom, and let's keep this thing flowing. Let's have a good time here. Every once in a while, though, we run dry. The water has run out in the well. So then we go to the 5 Energy phone line. We're like, hey, we need you. And then all of a sudden, we got a whole stumble out the gates.
Can't
Don't
have
need that.
Don't need that. We've had incredible callers on this program. Who was the guy? Connecticut UPS driver?
Gary.
Oh,
Fuck, Gary in Connecticut.
Forgot about Gary.
I was thinking about him last night. Literally, as I was thinking about our entire story, I'm like, remember that guy? Yeah. What was his name? Jimmy, I thought his name was. It's Gary.
Yep.
He was fantastic.
He was the man.
Gumpy, incredible caller. John from Georgia.
Bingo.
the best.
Incredible caller.
Johnny.
We've had so many great callers on this particular program. We love the phone line, but when you get through, and sometimes you're going to have to wait, guess what? We're waiting too. We're fucking here as well.
Exactly.
So we do, you know what I mean? That's kind of how it goes. When you get in, let's go. Because you are saving the program, and we are very grateful for it. Speaking of the program that I am very grateful for, the Talks Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. All the boys in the back. AJ Hawk will be joining us in the next hour, as he does every single day, pretty much, except for like vacation.
Yeah,
Sure.
Ohio State stuff.
When he needs a breather.
Yeah, every once in a while, I just,
Axel.
When Axel
doesn't
pees
wanna-
on his
Yep,
foot.
exactly.
I'm just going to need 30. What's that mean? Well, I need like 4 hours kind of recharge.
Need to talk to my team.
Today, tomorrow. I need to talk to the publicist and
Bingo.
Yeah. Right.
All the
agent.
other. Yeah.
see if this is still good for me or not.
Bobby Carpenter, make sure.
Yeah,
Bobby
definitely
fat.
talks to Bobby. Talks to him.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah. Bingo.
Get down and talk to Bobby. Kenny Albert will be joining us today.
Nice.
Okay.
About 12 minutes. He'll be the voice of the NHL playoffs on TNT this year. He's the only current and active broadcaster that calls all 4 major leagues.
Bingo.
Pretty sweet.
Same year, still happening. And he actually has a book coming out called A Mic for All Seasons, which is, it appears to be a life story with a lot of business and other things going on in there. Kenny, obviously the son of Marv. Marv Albert, voice of a lot of sports. Kenny gets that gig. I would assume he caught some hell, but at this stage, he is so incredibly talented. He can call all, his life must just be a constant prep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
for
prepping at all times. Can't wait to hear him chat about what he thinks about what this series is going to look like in the NHL Finals. And also, like, he was there for when T.O. stomped on a star.
Oh.
Like, he's been around. This guy's
That's
been around.
sweet.
Yeah.
Long time. He's been there, done that for definitely everything. Can't wait to hear some stories from him. And Mitch Morris, center for the Buffalo Bills.
Here we go.
Will join us in the second hour. We've been everything we look up for this guy, and obviously he's an offensive lineman, so there's not a lot of highlights or people talking about these people. It's just like, oh, he's getting into a fight for Josh Allen.
Yep.
Oh, he's in the photo of the year of the NFL because he's consoling a teammate after a devastating loss. This guy appears to be like greatest teammate around. Can't wait to chat with Mitch Morris. We appreciate him joining us. And we're going to have a hell of a Friday here. Speaking of hell of a Friday, if you're a Nuggets fan, you got to be having a hell of a Friday after watching what happened last night. Connor, I don't know if the Miami Heat will ever play that ass again.
Exactly.
But are the Nuggets the reason why these teams are playing so ass? I think that should definitely be in the conversation.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Like, the whole thing with them, too, is it's a different player every night. I think it was the start of the game. There was no really shots from Jokic. I don't know if he shot more than 5 times.
Oh, we can't.
Switcher.
We can't switch.
I assumed
got
that after a couple minutes, but yeah.
How does that continue to happen?
That's a good question.
You know what I mean? Your mic isn't on either, Foxy, so you're speaking like, and I see your mouth move. I can't hear the words coming out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. It hasn't happened for about 2 weeks now. It's just I see the computer
like
in
that
front
isn't.
of me
That's not a real line.
restart.
It hasn't happened for like 2 weeks, as if that's a long time.
Yeah, no.
Now,
That's
whenever,
no good.
no. Yeah, I'm saying like, but when we do a daily show, like things just happening every 2. This was not supposed to happen.
Yeah, every other month.
What is this? Is this an update thing? Is this like that full swing simulator up there where you have to have which we try, we have done. That thing has become a weapon in here.
Yeah, it's great now.
We did not keep up with it, I guess, enough for all the updates that come seemingly every single morning. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Okay.
So is it something then that's pretty easy to figure out? Should we should be able to figure that out, hopefully.
Yeah, it looks like there's just the memory builds up to 100% and then it just resets down to 0 again. We have to reset it, but we've talked to the
memory of what the switcher does.
Yeah.
So it just completely crashes. Do we not have any presets in there that we can cut into the memory?
I think it's a flaw. Like we have like a bad one. They're saying a new one, but we've been talking to their team, whatever you're gonna call it.
Jeez Louise.
Got a lemon.
Got a lemon.
So it's not the actual switcher; it's the control panel. The control panel, like the memory builds up on it.
Yeah, got a lemon.
Yep.
Yeah, of a control panel.
Got a lemon.
Well, at least the people who set it up were great people. And
Thanks a lot, Dahn.
So this is what another thing why people are like, why are you going to a network? It's like, well, This is just one of the reasons.
There you
Get
go.
lemon. It's gonna get switched out.
If you do remember, and I saw this happen to Lebretard or whatever, and like this is just what happens, I guess, everywhere. But certainly, when you don't have $1 billion operation behind you that has overkill in their production world, like there's some days you're just not going to have power.
Oh yeah,
Like our
That
old
has
students,
happened multiple times.
multiple times, middle of the show, boom, middle of the show, live in an interview. Who was
Kamaru Usman.
Kamaru Usman was giving one of the greatest motivational speeches of all time.
So good.
Talking about whenever I start walking out there, I feel like a warrior. I am a king. I am a god as he's going out there. He wraps that up. I'm about to hit like, oh, you're doing it.
Everything.
Whole system collapses. Internet stops. Power
office,
stops.
yeah.
Whole office have no lights. Can't
TVs.
Well, how do we figure it out? Well, we got to call.
We don't. We're done for the day.
We don't have, this ain't going to get figured out. Then something else will just stop working. There was one Halloween episode where we only had access to one camera
Yep.
And we dressed up.
for 3 hours.
Yep.
And everybody, it was,
Yep.
it's these types of things where it'll be nice just to be able to have somebody just be like, boom.
Exactly.
Let me take care of that.
Yeah.
Not that Zito wasn't able to do that right there, but like after the first time that happens, which 2 weeks ago, hey, thank you for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Got it done.
But it does seem like for the future, if we don't get that new switcher in the next 2 weeks, we should keep an eye on the memory thing. You know what I mean? We should have that as a jot down.
Got it.
But goddamn, it's going to be nice whenever there's professionals that are talking to these professionals, so that the people who we hire, who are, I don't want to say all of them act this way because we've met a lot of good people
Absolutely.
in a lot of fields. Met a lot of good people.
For sure.
But some of these people come in and they know that we got no idea what they're talking about. So they like kind of had like a God complex almost. when
Yeah,
they're talking.
exactly.
So you offer up a question or idea, you're an idiot because you don't know what this is. And it's
That
like,
would never work.
I guess you're right. I
Sure.
don't know anything about that. And that's like a part of the entire headache thing that kind of could possibly go away when you have billions and billions of dollars of infrastructure behind you.
Yeah.
Just something to think about. Just something to think about.
Unlimited
Anyways,
resources.
but people would like to see how good you look. The Miami Heat, they can't play that bad, or is it the Nuggets' fault that they played that bad?
It's Nuggets' fault. I mean, they're unbelievable on defense. There's a lot of other things, too. But yesterday, you kind of go back to what Bill Walton said, and he said a lot. But one thing in particular, he said, hey, when the Celtics played Will Chamberlain.
Is everything all right?
I am
Swallow
okay.
the bug?
Swallow the bug. When the Celtics played Will Chamberlain, they just had one guy cover Bill Russell, or Bill Russell cover Will Chamberlain, and Will scored 60 points a game, but they kept winning. And for the Heat, they decided, hey, let's double Jokic, make sure that he doesn't score 60 points, but then he ends up with 14 assists because all the guys he's passing to are hitting open shots. And that's what the problem was with the Heat. Like all the guys that played unbelievable against the Celtics, Max Strus and Caleb Martin, they were a combined 1 for 17. They only scored 3 points. And then for Jokic and the Nuggets,
Strus is a sniper, right?
yeah, he's their shooter. And for the Nuggets, they
So
have
for him, the thin air could be a thing.
Wide open threes.
wide open.
But like he's like Ray, like I don't want to say he's like Ray Allen,
Caleb Martin was shooting great too. They both were.
but like Strus is out there strictly to shoot threes. That is on the offensive side. That is what he is doing.
Shooter, yeah.
He's getting the ball. He's Mike Miller.
Yep.
Bingo.
He's everybody.
Kyle
Ray
Korver.
Allen, Kyle Korver,
Michael Redd.
Duncan Robinson kind of, but Duncan Robinson I guess plays a little bit. But he is that. He is that guy
Yes,
for that team.
exactly.
He's the only thing I've ever seen that guy shoot is a 3-pointer.
Yes.
Might have seen him do a layup once whenever everybody knows he's doing it. He cuts and does that thing. But he is a 3-point shooter. 1 for 17. Well, you know what I mean?
Right.
The
Yes.
hoop gets smaller.
That ain't gonna get the job done.
They're
But
all.
he won't do that again, though, I don't think.
Well, you never know.
If
You
he's
would
a
think
sniper,
not. You would think not.
if he's a sniper, I would assume he's not going to do that again.
Oh man, it's streaky, right? Shooters are streaky. Like if they were real hot, and then is this where they kind of go cold? And also, we were talking about it earlier.
I mean,
The Nug-
shooters at the Y, maybe. I mean, this is the.
But
you know
no,
what I
it's-
mean?
it's-
This is the
I-
NBA Finals. There's no way.
Yeah, it's his first NBA Finals too. So is the
Oh, little baby.
that's part of
and,
it.
Shaq and Peyton Manning shaking hands over
Exactly.
there. Oh,
Bingo.
shit, everybody's
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
walk on.
lights are a little brighter, and like that, there's a chance that's true. But also, maybe it is the year. The other thing is the Nuggets are huge. Every single player on their team is massive. So Strus going up against Derek White, sure, but when he's going up against a Michael Porter Jr.,
He's so big.
he's huge. Same
He was
with
bringing
Gordon.
it up. He was bringing it down the
6'10".
court or whatever, and it's like that guy.
Guy's massive.
Very clearly taller than everybody else on this particular
Yeah.
team, and I view him as a small guy because he's on Joker's team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess it's kind of how you got to go.
And to steal this from SVP, Aaron Gordon jumped over a Muppet, okay, to win it. Or no, he lost that dunk contest. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
Zach LaVine.
But But they were covering him yesterday with guys that were 6'5" and 6'4", and he just kept taking them to the post.
What do you have, the first 6 points or something like that?
I think he had 10 or 12 in the first quarter.
But he also hucked up an air ball from 3, so he could have had the first 9 points. But the middle of it was him hucking up an air ball. And I was like, oh, the heat, that's the air. I was like, yeah, that guy lives there. Don't know why.
He said,
a little jacked up. I'm just going to go inside.
Yep.
Him and Joker work in the paint. Fun to watch.
And they work incredible. And like you said, Porter Jr. is 6'10". Like, Jamal Murray's not a small guard.
What are you saying? It's 4 games?
No.
Is that what you said?
5 is definitely in play, though.
I could see a sweep. I mean, I just we look at the Heat probably won't shoot as poorly as they did last night, but you can't stop Jokic. He's either going to score or they do what they did last night, and you can't let him impact the game like that. That you can't win if he has 15 assists because you know he's going to have a bunch of rebounds. You know he's going to score. If he's finding guys wide open and they're knocking down shots, unless the Heat shoot 43s a game and make 40% of them, I just don't know how you beat them.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who might have some opinions because he is obviously called the NBA. He is also called the MLB.
What?
He is also called the NFL.
What?
And starting this weekend, he'll be again calling the NHL Stanley Cup Final. Has a book coming out in the fall, A Mic for All Seasons, because he's on a microphone for all seasons.
Hell yeah.
The guy can cover every single sport. That means his brain is incredibly large. Obviously, his dad was a talent, as is he. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Albert.
Yay!
How are you, man?
Hey, Pat, how are you?
Good. So is your life just a constant prep? We read this. I've had the opportunity to be in the booth for college football, for a Pro Bowl, and for an NFL game, I guess. I did do an NFL game. It was 31-0 or whatever. Not really I'm not good at it. It's not really my thing. My brain, I don't love it. I get exhausted. And, I'm not great for the viewers either. But I did get to witness some play-by-play people in the work that they have to put in the boards that they have for just one fucking game that maybe nobody's watching. I couldn't even fathom having to do that for all 4 major sports at the highest level. Are you just always prepping and memorizing things? Or at this point, do you just have a photographic memory?
Well, there is a lot of useless information in my brain, and I do have a big head because I have trouble with hats. And it's always, it's an adventure to try to find a hat that might fit. But speaking of that useless information and the vault, and the file cabinet that I have in my house, I actually pulled out my game chart. You probably don't remember this, but
here we go.
Your second NFL game, preseason 2009, I was on the call, Colts-Eagles, with my partners at the time, the great Daryl Johnston and the late, great Tony Siragusa.
Recipes.
And in my notes, I have Pat McAfee, 7th round pick, rookie, and also had written down the fact that you had a 63-yard punt the week before in your NFL debut. So that was in my notes. I also had a little note. I guess you were holding that game, and I had a note that you had never held before. So is that accurate?
Yeah, all these things are, good research here. Hey, I appreciate you doing it.
I went deep into the files, but that was the second NFL game of your career.
That's fantastic that you still have that filed and we're able to look into it. So first preseason game, we played the Vikings, I do believe. In my first 2 punts, 63 yards, 61 yards. And they had just cut Tim Mastay 2 days before, who was definitely a better punter than me, but they drafted me, they didn't draft him. He would go on to be the Packers punter for 10 years or something like that, win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think he was on the team when they won the Super Bowl.
I think he won a Super Bowl with the Packers or whatever, but he got cut. I kept the job 2 days before the first preseason game, and it was that was the strictly welcome to the NFL type thing because he was definitely a better punter than me at that point. But I got drafted, so fucking sorry. And I liked him.
By the way, his name was crossed out on my board. I saw the name on there, and I guess I had written the lineups in the week before, so he had a big X mark through his name.
Literally 2 days before the game. So that's when I found out I was going to have a job because I thought I was potentially not going to have a job, and then it was going to be a whole, what am I doing again? So my first 2 punts go 60 and 60, bombs. I'm like, hell yeah.
Let's go.
I got this figured out. I didn't even know how to punt at that time. So then that next week, the night before, I'm trying to sleep. I'm like, I got to hit big balls.
65 now.
And I was not mentally tough enough to handle that. I hit 3 shanks in that game. I think I was back out at maybe not having a job. And Sav Roca was the punter for the other team. And I met him in warm-ups. And he's 6'6", 260 pounds or whatever the fuck it is. I'm like, man, I'm not supposed to be in this men's league. Anyways, great trip down memory lane. I appreciate that. Let's talk about your brain, your memory, your future here. This NHL Stanley Cup final is a great one. We are very excited for the Vegas Golden Knights, and obviously they're a newer team, an expansion team a few years back, have had success, but not to this potential opportunity. They seem to be buzzing, Jackie Acers and Stoner and the boys. Anything about this Florida Panthers team, who, I mean, Kachuk might be my favorite player in the league. What are you looking forward to, and what are some of the storylines that you're kind of jotting out in your head for the first game tomorrow?
Well, it should be a great series. I'm out here in Vegas, traveled yesterday. I'll head over to Media Day in a little while. Two organizations that have never won a Stanley Cup, Vegas in their 6th year. And how ironic, their owner, Bill Foley, I think it was at the expansion draft in 2017, he remarked, I want to make the playoffs by year 3 and win the Stanley Cup year 6. Well, they got to the Stanley Cup final year 1, lost to Washington in 5 games. They've had remarkable success. It was their 4th trip to the semifinal round this year and their 2nd time in the Stanley Cup. And then on the other side, you have Florida, as you mentioned, a fairy tale story. They sneak into the playoffs during the last week. Last season, they won the President's Trophy, best regular season record. This year, up and down. They were 9 points out of a playoff spot in late December.
Okay.
They finished 1 point ahead of your Penguins.
Yeah, I knew where you're going there, literally.
They sneak in, and here they are. They beat Boston in the first round after trailing 3-1. Get by Toronto in 5 games, and then our crew worked the series against Carolina. Matthew Tkachuk, unbelievable, scored the 2 overtime goals, 4 overtimes in game 1. That didn't make it into my book because it's done. It's in the hands of the editors and it's in print, but that certainly would have been included as far as memorable games, ending at 1:54 in the morning, and then Tkachuk scores the game winner in game 4 with 5 seconds left. So it should be a great series.
Okay, so you were calling that game?
We called the 4 overtime game, yep.
So we were trying to predict the next morning how many humans outside of people in that arena, and insomniacs, we'll count them.
Yes, sure.
We'll count insomniacs because they can't sleep. How many humans were able to stay up for that entire thing? And then, at any point did you this game may never end? Because I think there's another a couple of your memorable games that you've talked about. I think there was one that was very long or something like that. And this
20 inning baseball game.
There it is. Yeah, I was reading that in here. 20. Did you think that game was never going to end? And did you have that thought potentially for that Caniacs and Panthers game? That's another full game and a period happening after the fucking game ends. I mean, is there a thought in there what if this actually, what if for the first time ever, game never ends?
It keeps going.
Did you ever have that fear or thought throughout the entire time?
First of all, going back to the 20-inning game, that was in 2010. This might be my claim to fame. Never left the booth to go to the men's room. 7 straight hours.
Diaper wearing, Kenny. You wearing a diaper up there?
I did go a couple of times. In hockey, you have the longer intermission, so I did go to the men's room. I think after the first and second period of the 4 overtime game, but after that, you never expect it to go that long. You're always thinking it's going to end in the first overtime, the second overtime. The intermissions are shorter. There are no TV timeouts, so it does go faster. Now, my partner, Eddie Olczyk, kept giving me a look every time I mentioned this is now the 8th longest game in NHL history. It's now the 6th longest game. I'm not sure he was too thrilled, along with Keith Jones down at ice level, that it was going that long, but for a play-by-play guy, you want to be a part of history. That's my personal feeling. So I wanted it to go to that 5th overtime. Only 5 games in history have ever gone that long, past the 4th overtime. Our game ended at the end of the 4th. And I felt great. I wasn't tired. I think the adrenaline kicks in. But the next day, I felt like I was either hit by a truck or just got off a red-eye flight without sleep. It took a couple of days. I don't know how the players do it, Pat. For me, it took a couple of days to recover from that 4 overtime game. I guess just the feeling of, I'm on a stool, but you're standing for a good portion of the game, and it's 6 hours talking, nonstop without a break. So it's always cool to be a part of those long ones. But there were times, I think I joked. So Keith Jones, our great reporter, analyst down at ice level, he's about to take over as the president of hockey operations for the Flyers beginning on June 1st. And I think I said during the 3rd overtime, hey, Jonesy, if this keeps going, you're not going to be able to start that other job on time.
Hi-oh! I mean, there was a chance, too, that there was no chance that I was going to stay up.
No way.
But there was a chance that some people in our office were going to say, I think they made it till like through the second one. To think that there was a whole nother one. And then.
And I saw the Panthers actually put out on social media a form letter that people could use to send to their work or school to excuse them because they were up so late watching the game.
I like that. So what are you, you a coffee guy? You doing 5-hour energies, meth?
What?
I'm a big Diet Coke guy, I guess. I don't like coffee, only drink tea when there's a throat issue, which, knock on wood, doesn't happen very often. But either water or Diet Coke during the game, that helps out for sure.
Are you just shotgunning those after like second overtime and then after a third overtime as well?
Not too many because you don't want to have to run out during the course of the game.
We're close to out of supply.
Yeah.
Got it.
You try not to drink too much.
That's amazing because I used to be a tea guy. I've kind of dropped off the teas. Now I'm doing these smoothies that have like vitamin B12 and everything in it as well. And then I'll take a 5-hour energy, but 6 hours of calling a game. And you got to be setting the tone not only for the people that are watching, which probably isn't a lot at that time, but the next morning we're watching that whole clip and it has to feel as big as it actually was, even though you are in your 6th hour of giving your entire performance pretty much over the game. We appreciate everything that you do. You've been doing it a long time. You've been doing it great. And we talked about this when we were chatting about you earlier. Like, Joe Buck, Jack Collinsworth is going through it right now. Like, there is a conversation around nepotism in TV. But that sometimes overshadows actual talent. Like, I assume there's a lot of kids of people that have gotten on TV and are no longer on TV. Like Joe Buck, every time he would come on the show, he was very he beat the shit out of himself almost because he felt obligated to do so because how everybody else does it. And I think the reason why that happened is because when he got handed the job or whatever, everybody's like, well, this is only happening because of his dad. It's like, yeah, but if he didn't have talent, he's not going to keep that job. Jack Collinsworth is kind of going through it right now, right? Like, Jack has gotten some big time jobs very quickly with NBC because his dad has obviously had a very successful career. And I always ask the people that are killing him, is he supposed to not take that job? Like, what is he supposed to do? And if he's not great, they will find a way to kind of funnel him out of there. Did you take any of that shit? Do you listen to any of that stuff? And do you know how many people are after the seats that you're in? Because there's only a few of you guys and girls that get to basically do play-by-play of the biggest things that happen in our sports world.
Right. It's a great question. And I write about this in my book. I was very fortunate to grow up in a sportscasting family. It was great with my father and my uncles. I got to tag along and go to games throughout my childhood. And when I was old enough, I would start bringing a tape recorder to Madison Square Garden or Shea Stadium. My parents gave me a toy tape recorder for my birthday when I was 5 or 6 years old, and I would call games in my bedroom. And it was just something that I always loved doing. And obviously, I had a great teacher that I grew up with in my house, and I would learn via osmosis. I was never told you have to go into this. It was something that I always wanted to do. And there are lawyers and doctors, thousands of them around the country whose children get into the same profession. It's what you grow up around. And I had a huge break in high school when a local cable station came to my school to film a girls' basketball game. And I volunteered to announce the game. They clipped a microphone onto my shirt and wound up working 75 to 100 games in all sports during my high school years. And I felt like I had such an advantage because at that time, kids my age didn't have those opportunities, but I worked hard at it. And then fast forwarding, my first job was minor league hockey in Baltimore, a team called the Skipjacks. And it was the best 2 years that I could have ever imagined, just getting the reps, 8-10-hour bus rides. There's a story in the book, a fake arrest, a prank that was set up.
Nice.
Barry Trotz, who was our assistant coach and my roommate on the road for 2 years, and now is the third winningest coach in NHL history, led the Washington Capitals to a Stanley Cup. But those years were very important as far as developing my own style. And then you mentioned Joe Buck. In '94, Rupert Murdoch and Fox make this crazy, unexpected bid for the NFC package. It had been on CBS for about 38 years. And Fox decides to hire John Madden and Pat Summerall, two of the all-time greats, Dick Stockton and Matt Millen. And then they took a chance on 4 young, unproven play-by-play broadcasters. And I'm very proud to say that I'm heading into my 30th year, believe it or not, with Fox. Joe Buck is a legend in the business now with Monday Night Football, but a countless number of Super Bowls and World Series. Kevin Harlan was one of the original hires at Fox. He's gone on to a great career at CBS and TNT. Tom Brenneman, who was at Fox for over 25 years. So, like you said, we all may have had a little bit of a foot in the door because we were able to tag along with our parents and learn by sitting in a broadcast booth and watching how they did things. But once you get the job, you're not going to keep it for very long unless you perform at the level that's expected. So, certainly, we all heard things back in the early days. They only got hired because of their last name, but I think the longevity certainly proves that we've all been able to do the job at a pretty high level.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, you're doing all 4 sports. The amount of work that takes, it makes sense. You were doing 75 to 100 games in high school.
Damn.
And whenever you're a kid, we hope that everybody gets a chance to have the same views. And I hope this is how it is with my new daughter and everything like that. Your parents are like your heroes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're watching them, you're getting to see them every single day. So if your hero is somebody that's calling sports, there's a chance that you're going to mimic it.
Yeah.
You're going to pick some things up and get naturally better at it. So whenever something happens in high school where they're like, hey, we want to do these games, does anybody want to do this? A lot of kids are like, yeah, call it. I've watched 10,000 games actually be called, and I've been practicing this since I'm 5 years old.
Yeah.
You had to be the greatest high school broadcaster in the fucking history.
Oh, my God.
I couldn't even imagine what that was, but I appreciate you saying about the work. Like, hey, I still had to earn my stripes in this business in Baltimore with that hockey team. It's we got massive respect for you and your brain, pal. I think you should not only us, I assume a lot of people do, but the more and more we learned about you through this entire process, you coming on the show, you're a fucking workhorse, pal. And we got big fans. We are big fans of workhorses out here. Great work ethic. And they don't have to, rich little kid.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't have to do it.
Doesn't have to. Has a work ethic that anybody would admire. So shout out to you, Kenny. Connor has a question for you. And he is a fan of the NHL team that has had the greatest regular season
Ever.
since 2005.
Most wins ever.
Most wins since 2005 for sure.
Most wins ever.
Post shootout era,
65.
back in the day, Detroit. How many is Detroit? 62, right?
Yeah.
62 wins.
Yep.
But and how many ties did they have?
Well,
I forget it. No,
couple.
They did.
they had ties. Yeah.
They wish they went to shootouts.
Yeah, but I forget they had a certain amount of ties. Who
Should've
knows?
won 'em.
If they
Should've
win
won
2
'em.
of those, they probably have 65. Who knows?
Well,
what
they
did.
didn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, but they didn't have the opportunity to do that.
But
so
they
the
could've.
Boston Bruins, greatest.
They had a chance.
This happens all the time. We apologize. Just have to clarify some stuff for the Boston Bruins fan.
Yeah, 65 is the most.
Certainly an asterisk because they had the opportunity to win shootouts when the Red Wings did not.
Most wins in the Crosby era.
Okay, see, that was a personal shot.
No,
Why you do this, Skip?
He's the best player. He's the best player.
Anyways, he's a diehard Bruins fan. He has a question for you, Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny, thanks for bringing up the Panthers beating the Bruins. Really appreciate that. When you're looking at all of the stuff you call, and Pat said it, all 4 major sports, it's unbelievable. What's the hardest one to kind of get up for and to call? Like, is it harder to do one of those late games? I assume not, just because it's playoffs and at least you're getting a big game and a big finish, and that's going to happen, or is it like a July middle of the road baseball game? Like, what would you say is kind of the hardest thing to do when it comes to calling games?
That's a great question. I look at it, I prepare the same way for every game, whether it's a preseason hockey game, a playoff football or hockey or basketball game. I think back to the old Joe DiMaggio quote. They have it hanging up in the runway, heading from the Yankee clubhouse to the field. Somebody in the stands might be watching him play for the first time. So you always have to be at your best. And I have a checklist that I go through for each and every broadcast, which involves watching each team's previous game, doing a lot of reading, preparing charts, statistics, etc. So that's really my feeling, is that you have to prepare for every game the same. Now, obviously, there's going to be more emotion and adrenaline in a playoff game than a regular season game. To me, and I get asked all the time, Connor, about what's the most difficult sport to call. And a lot of people think it would be hockey because of the constant movement, the fact that the players are changing on the fly. To me, it's actually the easiest, maybe because I've done it for so long. It's almost like riding a bike. Basketball is similar, but slower. The puck's in action for 60 minutes. The ball's in action for 48. Football's the most rhythmic. It's one play and then 20 seconds. So you set up the play, you call the play, you recap it, and then get out of the way for your color analyst to come in or try and lead your analyst in a certain direction. To me, baseball is the most challenging. I've never done a team. I've never worked a full season. I do about anywhere from 5 to 15 games a year with Fox. So the baseball, you have the most downtime. Now, that's changed a little bit this year with the pitch clock. But the biggest challenges to me have been some of the other sports. I was asked to do track and field by NBC at the Olympics back in 2016.
Here we go.
And that's a sport I had never been involved in. I did beach and indoor volleyball turned out it was the 2021 summer, but the 2020 Olympics. And that was a lot of fun. It was different because it was off monitors. We weren't actually there due to the pandemic. So it's always a great challenge to learn the other sports. I've done some boxing. The only sport that I've ever done where I felt like I had no idea what I was watching. This is in the 1990s. I was about 25 years old, working down in DC, and I was asked to do a college wrestling event, the ACC championships down in North Carolina. And I prepared, and I had a great analyst, but that's the one time that I really felt as the event was taking place that I really had no clue.
I'm not supposed to be here. Yep. I'm not supposed to be doing this right now. What a whirlwind they're trying to train or prepare for the track and field. What you have to learn the rules, obviously. You got to learn all the rules. You got to learn the history too, because you can't sound like a dumbass. Because as soon as you don't, they're looking for you to say something wrong. That track and field community, they're waiting. This fucking guy doesn't even know. You know what I mean? They're waiting on that whole thing. I couldn't even imagine the preparation. Then it's Olympics as well.
Damn.
Good luck out there. Only the world watching. I'm sure you crushed it though.
Again, luckily I had some great analysts with me who were able to pick up in some of the areas where I wouldn't know about the history or some of the rules as well as they did. So, but it's always fun. It's a challenge. Before the volleyball, 2 summers ago, I actually sat down with. First of all, I'm not ashamed to mention I bought Volleyball for Dummies at my local Barnes & Noble.
Smart.
And I sat down with the local volleyball coach at the high school that my kids had attended, and she was tremendous for about an hour and a half. We went over the history, the rules, the strategy, and that was a big part of the preparation.
Hell yeah. Give me a nice 4. Give me a nice outside ball up there at the candy stick. Give me the top of that thing. Let me go up and get it. Maybe a little back set to a 7. You know what I mean?
You're ready to go.
Yeah. I played volleyball in high school. Fucking loved it. Favorite sport that I actually played. Zero chance of me going on to do anything with it because I was actually told by one of the schools who was interested in me. We didn't have to play libero. They wanted me to play libero, which basically means like, yeah, you're just in the back row the entire time playing defense. Can't even overhead hit it over the thing or whatever. And in high school, I was a spiker. You know, like they're calling me IHOP out here. You know what I mean? Like I'm going here and I'm getting it. They're like, we have a 6'7" Lithuanian actually who we just brought in.
That makes sense.
Who's going to be staying right there across. So yeah, you can jump for sure. So can he. Yeah. And he's got a half a foot head start on you. So you're going to be in the back just fucking eating it. Great sport though. Hey, great sport out there, volleyball.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun to call.
Favorite moment in history of calling sports? Like right there, some moment had to pop up, I assume.
Well, there are a bunch of them. The one that I get asked the most about, and I've done fewer baseball games than the other sports, but the Jose Bautista home run and bat flip in 2015. That's one that I get asked about all the time. I've called a bunch of Stanley Cups on the radio, one prior on television. Olympic hockey, the women's gold medal game in 2018, the U.S. women against Canada. Football, you might remember this game, Pat. It was a divisional playoff game, San Francisco, New Orleans, back 2011 season, so January 2012. It was Alex Smith and Drew Brees back and forth, 4 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes. That's probably the most memorable game. Called the Sugar Bowl with Howie Long and Terry Bradshaw as my partners, Notre Dame, LSU. DeMarcus Russell, Brady Quinn, that one stands out. But I've also had a lot of moments during my NFL broadcasting career. I had the Terrell Owens stomping on the Cowboys star when he played for the Niners. I had the Michael Vick zigzag 43-yard overtime touchdown run for the Falcons of Minnesota.
Yeah,
I had the Victor Cruz 99-yard touchdown against the Jets to help propel the Giants into the postseason. This year, I'm back here in Vegas today as we speak. I had the craziest play in the NFL this season. Chandler Jones,
nice.
Raiders, New England, the laterals, the interception by Chandler Jones takes it in for the game-winning touchdown. So,
did you almost say murders Mac Jones into the desert with a stiff arm? Did you?
So, a lot of those moments through the years, I had. You were a kid then, but following the Steelers, I don't know if you remember, 1995 at halftime, Bill Cowher shoving a Polaroid picture into the pocket of the referee, Gordon McCarter. There was a 12-man on the field penalty on a field goal, and the Polaroid comes down, and Cowher actually shoves it into the pocket of the referee. So a lot of memorable moments. The 8 years working with Moose and Goose were just so much fun. When I think back, Moose Johnson up in the booth, Tony Siragusa on the field he didn't like to be called a sideline reporter. He was a sideline analyst. And those 8 years were really special. And we all miss Goose. It's coming up on a year, but just so many memories. He would hate sitting around the hotel on a Saturday, for example. In between, we would meet with the home team on Friday, go to practice, visiting team on Saturday afternoon. Goose was restless. There would always have to be an activity. So if we had a game in Buffalo, we would go on the jet boat in Niagara Falls. The only time I've ever held a gun in my hand, we went to a shooting range in Dallas with Moose and Goose. We went on a swamp alligator tour in Louisiana. So we were always doing something, and it helped with the camaraderie. You guys always talk about the locker room and the fun, away from the games, the camaraderie. And when I worked with Daryl and Tony, we had that. We would always try to find something to do on Saturday morning to keep it fun. The most incredible thing I've ever seen in Charlotte, we did the NASCAR experience where you could actually drive the race car around the track. Now, I had never driven a stick shift, so I sat in the passenger seat, and a professional took me around 150 miles an hour 4 times. Tony Siragusa in through the window, legs first, couldn't fit his head through with the helmet, so he had to take the helmet off, and then he drove this race car 160 miles. It was incredible. One of the most crazy things I've ever witnessed.
What a dog, dude.
Wow.
Absolute dog. You sitting in that passenger seat, we got to do that to Meineke Car Care, but you're this close to the wall. Goose was following the line. He's going 160 miles an hour up near the wall.
I wasn't in the car with him, but he was highly successful. He got it done.
Let's go, Goose.
Wow.
I'm happy to hear that. Great stories. I assume there's a lot of those because I don't want to say those are on like the tip of your tongue, it sounds like, but has it been a fun trip down memory lane as you write this A Mike for All Seasons coming out this fall? I assume it was.
Yeah, it was great. My family, my wife and kids pushed me to do it. I have all these stories, stored up in my brain that I would tell when I speak at events or to high school and college broadcasters, a number of sportscasting camps every summer, as well as advice for young broadcasters. So,
fucking workhorse, dude.
Yeah.
You are a
I did it myself. No ghostwriter.
Of course, yeah, we learned that. But I hear your schedule and what you've done. There's no way you're letting anybody else.
Yep, started during the pandemic, finished it last summer. But it's a compilation, stories about my early life, the minor league hockey days, memorable games, Olympics, the COVID years, travel tales. One of the other ones that I love telling is 2003.
Hell yeah.
Yankees Red Sox Game 7. Aaron Boone hits the home run. I'm down doing the interviews in the clubhouse with Joe Torre and Mariano Rivera, some of the other Yankee stars. It's like 1 a.m. The game went 11 innings and ended late. So I do the interviews. I throw it back upstairs to Joe, Buck, and Tim McCarver, and they sign off. So they go to the late local news. I see out of the corner of my eye, Mayor Bloomberg at the time in New York is standing off to the side of the podium. His PR person comes over to me and says, "Can you interview the mayor next?" I said, "We're done." They went to the late local news. He says to me, "Can you fake it?" So I tell the cameraman to look into the camera and make it seem like you're filming this interview.
Yes.
Mayor Bloomberg comes up and we do a 5-minute interview. I'm asking him about growing up in Boston. His mom's a Red Sox fan. He's the mayor of New York. And this interview not only was not on TV, it wasn't even taped. It went nowhere. I think he'll save the job of his PR guy.
How did he do? I bet you Mayor Bloomberg killed that interview though. Was it a good, like as you're in it, you're like, oh man,
it would have been good.
Man, yeah. Man, what a moment.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hilarious.
A fake interview with a sitting fucking mayor. I was putting myself in that situation where we're just walking around and like, hey, this sitting mayor or governor or somebody of importance, mayor of New York City, mean, that's
big deal.
Huge.
Big deal or whatever. Big fan of the show. I was wondering if you have all of our phones are dead in we have no recording devices. We have no service. We're not.
And then
We're sorry. And
Ironically,
Zito holding a
we had-
fucking dead phone, okay, at this person who's very important. And then us doing a fake conversation with this person, shaking their hand.
Fake interview.
That was great. Love everything about it.
Unbelievable.
And then you're just out of there, and you just have to go about your life, I guess, at that stage. And then now you write it as a book. Did Bloomberg know this happened? Have you ever chatted about it?
I've told the story on a couple of shows through the years, so maybe you heard about it. Same mayor, 6 years later, believe it or not, the new Yankee Stadium, Yankees Angels, I'm up on the podium, and I'm told in my ear by the producer, Pete Macheska, don't turn to your left. Don't ask the mayor a question. It turns out this time, Mayor Bloomberg came onto the podium. I'm turned to my right interviewing CC Sabathia, and when I got home and watched it, it turned out he was on TV standing there. And the reason I was told not to interview him 6 years later was it was the election month. And if I had asked Mayor Bloomberg a question, we would have had to give his opponent equal time. So there was actually a second situation. And this time his office threatened to, they weren't happy because he was on television, basically was ignored.
Yeah.
So his office threatened to pull the parking spots for the TV trucks at the next game. But once it was explained, the equal time rule, they understood and calmed down. So there's actually two crazy stories about Mayor Bloomberg in the book.
Yeah, sounds like it. I think if I was Bloomberg, too, I'd be like, this guy's got something against me. But the whole thought about them saying you were disrespectful by not letting him get interviewed, I wish you guys would have responded. You should hear what we did to you 6 years ago.
Even worse.
Mayor, you should hear what we did 6 years ago. So you talked about the Cowher story in 1995, I believe is the year you said. How long have you been doing this? When did you start with the Baltimore hockey team, the Hit Sticks? Is that what they were called? Hot Sticks?
Close, the Skipjacks.
There.
So
Skipjacks.
that was 1990, 90 to 92. Did the Washington Capitals for 3 years. And since 95, I've been with MSG Network, Rangers, radio, about 15 Knicks games on the TV side with Walt Clyde Frazier. Fox since 94. So I've run the gamut. My color analyst with Fox, Ron Pitts, Anthony Munoz, Tim Green for 7 years, Brian Baldinger, Moose and Goose, as I mentioned, and then the Hall of Famer, Rondé Barber. Can't wait to attend his induction. We worked together for 3 years, and now heading into my 4th year with Jonathan Vilma. So 30 years at Fox, which is crazy. Stanley Cup final, as we talked about, getting started tomorrow. By the way, 2 members of the TNT hockey crew have a connection to Indianapolis. Not sure if you're aware. But
Wayno,
Wayne Gretzky,
first game.
Indianapolis Racers as a 17-year-old. And then Keith Jones, who I mentioned earlier, scored his first NHL goal in a neutral site game at Market Square Arena. It was the Capitals against the Blackhawks. First NHL goal, Market Square Arena in Indianapolis.
Hell yeah.
about
We need to do more of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, a lot
I think
more.
this place would love hockey if they had a team here that was great. Speaking of all the people that you worked with for about 3 decades worth of stories in this book coming up.
No.
Can't wait to hear the more. Every single, here's one, bang.
Yeah.
I would assume with all the moments you've been at, there's a lot of people at places. I can't wait to hear them all. Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Kenny, I think I saw it was over like 200 analysts that you have worked with and called games with. And my question was, can you tell immediately if you are going to get along with that person? And then also, like I saw you did a little work with Greg Olson. Can you tell immediately if they are going to be as good as Greg's kind of rise here to the top? How long does that take?
Yeah, I was able to tell with Greg pretty immediately. We worked 1 game together. He was still an active player. And Fox, on occasion, would use, on a bye week, they would pull in an active player. They did it on a couple of occasions. And with Greg, it was a Giants-Arizona game. And he's from New Jersey, so the game was at MetLife Stadium, so it made perfect sense. And he did a terrific job. He was so energetic, well-prepared, not surprised that he's gone on to call a Super Bowl early in his broadcasting career. Have worked with over, I think, 225 or so analysts, and the entire list is in my book. You're probably not surprised that I kept track of that. And I can honestly say each and every one of them I've really enjoyed, whether it's somebody that I've worked 15 or 20 years with or just 1 game, and there are a number of those. Had the opportunity to work 3 games with Troy Aikman, the game with Howie Long and Terry Bradshaw that I mentioned, Tim McCarver on the baseball side, all the terrific hockey analysts that I work with, Walt Clyde Frazier in basketball. The forward, Clyde Frazier and Wayne Gretzky were kind enough to write the forward to my book. So that is, when I think back, couple of unbelievable athletes, best in the sport, and one of the top 50 in basketball who I watched as a youngster wind up writing the forward for the book. But you could tell pretty instantly if you have that connection, and no matter what the sport is, the first time I work with somebody, I try to do a little research on them as well, as far as their playing career, coaching career, because you want to, as a play-by-play announcer, be able to lead them into certain areas, certain subjects. So that goes a long way towards that chemistry, and the synergy is knowing a little bit about their careers.
Yeah, it takes investment to build relationships, though, which is even more time. So studying, prepping, investment into a relationship that has to be real. If it's not real, everybody watching at home knows. And it's like, yep, this is not that enjoyable of an experience. We're trying to enjoy our time here. We're watching our favorite team or a team play something. So it's amazing that you've been able to have such good chemistry, seemingly, with 200 people, because that takes actual investment and effort. You're a fucking superhero, it seems like, in the booth. Happy and lucky that you're on the show. Last question here from Ty.
Yeah, speaking of that prep work, Kenny, Pat kind of touched on it earlier in terms of you having your vault and everything. Every time, we've had Al Michaels on a couple times, and he can go back and remember, his exact call from some game in 1979 or 1983. Do you think, I feel like the guys who are really at the top of their game in play-by-play, it's almost like they have a photographic memory. Now, you don't necessarily need that when you're calling the game, but, you just did it right here. You can pick obscure dates from, your past and remember, and it's almost like we're there with you at the time. Do you consider that you almost have a photographic memory when it comes to all this kind of stuff? Because there's just so much stuff that you have to remember and retain over the course of your career.
I'm not sure if it's a photographic memory, but I do remember a lot, and it does come in handy during games or during the prep. I'm also somewhat of an organized hoarder. So I keep a lot of most of my game charts, that I prepare at home in a file cabinet. And the next time I have a team, I'll pull that out. So I have some of the prior research that I've done. But I've always seemed to have a pretty good memory for sporting events, names, numbers, players, dates, statistics. I do find
Could you stump the Schwab, you think? You think you could stump the Schwab? Remember that show back in the day? The old
I remember Howie Schwab, right, from ESPN. He was really good.
You similar, though. It sounds like Bear.
I do find myself, it's weird. I find myself, if I'm working a football game or a hockey game, sometimes I'll see a number on a uniform and I'll think back to somebody who might have worn that same number for that team 10 years ago. So you could get yourself into a little bit of trouble with that. Getting back to Pat's previous thought about the analyst and the chemistry during football, especially, we go in on Friday morning, go to practice, have dinner. We're with each other all day Saturday. So during the football season, 18 weeks, you're probably with your crew, your analyst, your sideline reporter, your producer, director, more often than you're with your family. Friday through Sunday, every week for 18 weeks, having all kinds of meals together. So you really do become, it becomes a second family. And I think that helps build the chemistry. When I talked about Tony Siragusa, being a camp counselor and setting up all these activities, you just get to know each other better the more time you spend away from the booth and away from the arena or stadium. So I think that's a big part of it as well.
Hell yeah. Team comes together around a keg. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Maybe not so much kale. And I'm not saying you got to get boozed up, but it means out and about doing stuff.
Yeah.
Is where real chemistry is kind of found. And I feel like you learn about people, which builds relationships and everything like that. We're happy that we have a relationship now where we can say you came on our fucking show, dude. You are an impressive individual. We appreciate your contributions to sport. Cannot wait to watch the Stanley Cup final here starting tomorrow. You're the man, Kenny.
Really appreciate it, guys. Thanks, Pat. Enjoyed it. And Stanley Cup final, TNT, Saturday night. Hopefully we can do this again soon.
Hell yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Albert.
Yay!
Big brain.
Yeah.
He's got super big brain.
We had so many events.
So I was like, when I was talking to Bear last year, behind the scenes of game day, it's like watching his brain just kind of process. And then it's like you're watching, he just said a filing cabinet, but it is like you're watching a filing cabinet kind of go, no, Bear goes no. And then you watch it all right, he's digging into, let me open the file, let me get into there. And then boom. Yep, thought so. Okay, let me. And then with a grin. You remember?
Yeah. Knows it.
It's incredible. It's incredible. That's like that Stump the Schwab show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That show was great.
It was a good
They
show.
should bring that back.
Stump the Schwab was a good show.
Yeah.
If we were making decisions, we'd be like, you know what? Let's
Love
do Stump the Schwab.
Yeah, where's the Schwab?
We wouldn't be mad about it.
No.
We'd
Of
be
course not.
pumped.
We'd be
It's
pumped.
incredibly
So happy.
pumped.
It's good for sports media.
I agree.
Absolutely.
It's incredible.
Have James Holzhauer do it.
Was there any business questions in the Stump the Schwab?
Not
ever?
typically.
Okay.
Not typically. It
Let's
kinda
get
just
to
stuff
a
sports.
Why didn't they do any business questions?
because it was a
It's a
sports
sports-
show,
sports show.
sports program.
Oh.
We were big fans of the Schwab.
Oh yeah.
Still am. Whatever, dude.
He's a top.
Seemingly, it was a very intelligent human being. You know,
Yeah.
he's incredible at
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's a
sports trivia.
true BFS to the core too.
Jeez Louise.
In the greatest way possible.
His overall record against people, what you're saying, completely wrong. 64-16.
Yeah.
He crushed people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah.
He was an unstoppable force.
He was.
BFS has nothing to do with him winning. I
was
knew
gonna
he
say, I
won.
think Connor was saying he crushed people in the literal sense as well.
Yeah.
He was saying, brain fella, super. Yeah, I concur.
Oh no!
Get to a break.
I was saying big fat stooge.
Whoa.
Jeez. How he
But-
talks.
There's no reason for that. And once again, we'll have to explain this a lot. The opinions of some of the people
Yeah.
that are employed here do not match the opinions of everybody that's employed here.
No, we're all our own individual,
That's right.
and that's how I feel. And I also loved watching him.
Yeah,
go to
but I think
town.
you're a little bit too young. You
My
know what
word.
I mean? I don't think you were in the real breadbasket of Stump the Schwab.
No.
Because the fact that Stump the Schwab knew who I was made me pumped
Oh
when I
yeah.
heard it.
He knows
I mean, that
everybody.
was appointment TV on
Yes.
ESPN when that was on.
Yeah, did you play sports? Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, you're right.
bingo
You're right. But also everything else, I'm pretty pumped that we got into the brain.
into the brain. at
It
some
really
point.
was though. It was like when that guy first won the $1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Like that was when someone would stump the Schwab. It was like the same type of thing. Like holy fucking shit.
What happened to Schwab?
He got stumped.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Anyways, hey, we appreciate you, Schwab. Hey,
Love you, Schwab.
Bravo.
people aren't happy.
No, they're not.
All right, let's get to a break. Hour 2 will be on the other side with AJ Hawk and Mitch Morris.
Mitch.
Center for the Buffalo Bills. Kenny Albert's been there for everything, huh?
Yeah.
Everything.
Him, Al
calling.
Michaels. There's only a few of those seats.
Juggling all 4 sports in one calendar year too. Like that is crazy.
Yeah, but he has to be great at all of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because if not, like, there's only certain seats, which we've kind of learned as we've gotten into the sports media business. You don't really think about things whenever it's happening. Like those premier play-by-play spots. There's only a few of them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's only a few people who have those jobs. So that means there's a lot of people that are angling, you know, to try to get those jobs. He's talking about 8-hour bus rides and stuff like that. There's people that do that for a long time now because there's only a certain amount of games or whatever. So I guess the streaming certainly helps. But whether you're on like this game or you're on like this game is vast different in life,
Oh yeah.
exposure,
For sure.
professional legacy,
Right.
everything. And only a few people can really get to this spot or have gotten to this spot. I'll be intrigued to see who the next ones are and how long all these guys that are in those spots can maintain the level that they've been able to maintain. Because Al Michaels, I mean, some people said he didn't get excited, and he came on this show and was like, were those games worth being excited?
Yeah.
What do we, I'm not going to lie to
Great
anybody.
answer.
Yeah, exactly.
He said, I'm not lying
If
to
you
people.
start with a yell and all pumped up, where do you go?
But he also said, like, these games, I mean,
They stunk.
what, a 14th sack? Is that
Yeah.
supposed to, another turnover, another 3 and out, another bad possession, another dumb decision? What am I supposed to say is pretty much what he said in a much classier way.
Yeah. Sure.
But he said that, but he's 70-something years old, still quick.
Oh yeah.
And he's Al Michaels, so like, how long can he be able to do it? I'll be excited to watch. His brain seems very large and good.
Well, and to your point too, with those few spots up there that everyone's angling for, can you imagine when some of those people are done, how much that next person is going to be hated by everybody because they're replacing an Al Michaels or a Joe Buck?
Yeah.
That's going to be. That's
Yeah, but
why
there's some of them that'll get replaced and people will be like, it's actually be a good spot because there's a lot of people that are hated.
for sure.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? For, I think, fair reason or not, you know?
Yeah.
It's just kind of the position you're in.
Well, Brady Brady is not set up for success.
After Olsen, no.
No.
Because how good Olsen
Greg is so good.
Greg Olsen is so good at
Yeah.
But Tom Brady's spending a year to prepare.
Yeah,
He's been doing the rounds interviews-wise. We'll definitely talk about some of that.
Sure.
Let's get to a break with A.J. Hawk on the other side and Mitch Morris. And, maybe some more convos about the hockey.
What?
The NBA.
What?
The NFL.
What?
And some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line. We can't wait for it. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 5. We have some massive news.
Lot of blessings piling up that I ain't even wish for. No, not the one for y'all. I'm locking the fridge door at the crib, cutting hits. I read through the catalog, came to conclusion, no one's touching it. Just finished the maiden voyage, I've been on the main burn. Said I'm trying to kill them off, whatever it takes. I seen the boats, I'm at home. I'm selfish with the goals, I could give a fuck who try and get along. 6'3", you can't look me in the eyes.
Thank you, man.
Welcome the incomparable Pat McAfee.
But as soon as we get backstage, I see Serena Williams like 6 feet from me. I'm like, oh my God. Hello, hello, hello. You look fantastic. Massive room. Did not expect to see this many incredibly important humans to the media world. And then all of a sudden, guess who pops by? Ryan Seacrest.
Good to see you, bro. Ryan Seacrest, how are you? Congratulations.
Legend, bro. And holy shit, Ryan Seacrest is here.
Honestly, your work ethic is something that people
Thank you.
Really inspire you.
Why am I here? Great question. Sweet cowboy hat. How you doing, dude? Makes me look thinner. The Kardashians?
Bullshit.
Come out the elevator?
Hey, good luck out there.
My show, my guys and I will be joining the ESPN universe. And we are so incredibly pumped, honored, and thankful to be doing that. And a lot of people are wondering, why would you ever want to do that when you run a couple $100 million valued company with full independence and the ability to kind of do whatever I want, whenever I want, with my crew that is one of the hardest working group of men on this earth. And it's because I had the incredible opportunity over the last 2 months to chit-chat with the leadership at ESPN. I go up to a lounge, Alex Honnold, the guy that was climbing?
Yeah, sure.
I'm like, holy fuck, that's that guy who just hangs off the side of cliffs or whatever. And I think the future of sports media is certainly something that we're kind of creeping in on. Digital has become an influence. It has the structure. It has the ability to reach millions and millions of people. Dan Orlovsky, after his riveting performance on the stage, which it was,
Gets a Shirley Temple.
he got wine.
Oh, wow.
The future obviously says that linear television is going to be dead. ESPN, the channel, won't be able to exist, but when is that? Is that a year from now? 10 years from now? 20 years from now? Can we get to 25, maybe 30, 35, 40? By that time, I'm 65, 70 years old, and I've completely missed out on the powerhouse that is ESPN Linear. So when I was talking to Jimmy and Burt Magnus and the Bob father, Bob Iger, somehow got a chance to be in his office for an hour and a half in Burbank. That was bananas. He's now talking, I think, to the leader of France. Dumbest life of all time continues. But they all very much understood that we need to embrace both what tomorrow is and what today is. And I have the exact same vision. Then Joe Buck, Troy Aikman come walking in. I'm very thankful to announce that we'll be on ESPN, ESPN Plus, the ESPN app, and for the first time, I do believe in all of sports media, we'll be live on ESPN's YouTube at the exact same time. Jimmy, Burke, Bob understood that 98% of male Gen Zers use YouTube on a daily basis. So being live there and on ESPN, we should be able to reach the entire world, hopefully, if I don't fuck it up, which I might have just did by saying the F word in this room right here.
You met the real DeMar Hamlin,
Okay.
not Michael B. Jordan.
Are you sure?
Not the actor, not the clone.
How's the upfronts? He is in Disney movies.
Because clones look exactly the
Photos.
same as real people.
That's the actual clone type. It is an incredibly special time for me. This is my first time out of my house in 2 weeks. My wife and I actually, boom, first baby. She just started farting 2 days ago. Real deal. That was a game changer. But my wife, my baby, my guys, and everybody that I know are honored to be a part of the ESPN family, and we hope that we'll be able to work with all of you. Cheers. and have an incredible day.
Good, man. How you doing? You good? Don't keep running the world, though.
Hey, no, that's you, dude. That's you. That's you. Trip to New York, I think, was a success. The upfront was hilarious. I had no idea that room was going to be that big.
This is awesome, isn't it?
That was the most suits I've ever seen in my entire life. We're pumped to join the family, and I am very grateful that they're going to let us do it our way. And I said, fuck it at Disney upfront. So.
This should be a pretty legendary thing later in life. You'll probably look at it and say, oh, that was a pretty good decision.
All right, the next chapter begins. Ain't that right, Mickey?
Hell yeah.
Did you have the... Is that like that? Or
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, full on. Hey, that's scary. Don't you think you're going to die out there? Isn't there some moments where you're like, if I die, I die. I guess you have said that. But you think you're never...
Cousins from the pocket, floating one, and right underneath is Justin Jefferson. On the move and all the way down inside the 15.
Kirk Cousins takes a huge hit by Payne.
You say you're never going to breathe again, right? And there's some of that thought out there. Were you having that on the field or no?
You do have that thought for a second that you're in a dark place and you'd like to get out of it. I remember whoever hit me, Payne or whoever hit me pretty good, and I'm kind of, I don't know what I sounded like, but I must have been like, because as he walked by me, as he got up, he goes, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. So I must have been moaning or something.
Hey,
Why?
let's go! This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Boston
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this fantastic Feel Good Friday, June 2nd, 2023. Hour 2 starts right now.
Feel Good
Friday. We're all having one, aren't we?
Hell yeah.
In the first hour, I was joined, obviously, by the Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt, a mainstay of greatness. I appreciate you, boys. And one half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys, Tone Diggs, who is obviously superb at what he does. And what he does is what he does.
That's right.
We all know what it is.
Do what I do.
And what he does it better than anybody's ever does it
Goddamn right.
in the past.
That means a lot. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Shout out to you, man. Keep it going, honestly. And joining us right now was a man that got to miss out on a conversation with Kenny Albert in the first hour, which was fantastic. But this guy always has the hottest takes on all of the subjects happening around sports.
By far.
He's a college football national champion. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's a Ryder Cup winner, although not a champion.
Ooh.
But he is a champion of an entire state. There's only 50 of them. Ohio, he's the champion of it.
The guy.
right.
Do all states have champions? No.
No, don't.
But whenever you're Ohio, and Ohioans are Ohioans, and Ohioans know exactly what Ohioans are, they can vote who represents us the best.
That's exactly right.
The Ohio fuck.
Yep.
Reigning, defending,
What?
undisputed face of Ohio. Father of 10 COVID survivor, AJ Hall. That's you, man.
Let's go.
It's you.
Come on.
I'm a hot take artist, right? Isn't that what I do?
Yeah.
Well, not only you're a hot take artist, and we'll dive into some things that need your takes on. Okay, we will certainly do that. But you being the champion of Ohio, has it settled in yet? Now that it's like kind of summer break, have you got a chance to go to any cookouts or gatherings or team practices or parties? And they go, Mr. President, as their champion, they say, we're thinking we need the roads fixed a little bit. We're thinking we need maybe a little bit of an upgrade in this particular park. Are you handling things now as if you are the president of Ohio, since you are the champion of Ohio currently?
No, it came with
disgusting.
zero
Come
responsibilities, thankfully. I mean, that sounds more like a city council person, I guess, that you need to go to if you need your roads.
Heavy is the hands, bro, that hold the state championship.
That's right.
Which you did, which was the shape of
I take
football.
this trophy everywhere. I just can't get anyone to congratulate me. I carry that all over the place. With my kids, grocery store, no one says anything.
Probably scared.
What if you had that thing like a fucking parrot?
Oh,
That'd be so
awesome.
cool.
Right on your shoulder?
Super glue.
Tape it right to my shoulder. Yeah, or super glue.
Do you have a meeting with other state champions? And who are some other state champions? Do you know?
It's a great question. No, I don't.
technically, this is not an Ohio State champion either.
Yeah.
What is it? Wow, I was lied to.
What are you talking about?
Shut up.
Yeah.
I was lied to.
Who'd you talk to?
The internet. I'm
everybody.
reading everything. AJ Hawk receiving the Ohio's Finest Award to kick off day. You were the finest of Ohio.
Yeah.
I.e. the Ohio champion.
Yeah.
I.e. the president of Ohio.
Hey, Kirk was Ohio's finest college edition. I think there's a college and a pro version of this.
So
Kirk
you
was there the
knocked
night
him out.
before.
Holy shit. Kirk was Ohio's finest as well?
Kirk ran like the roundtable thing, or the night before they had all like the last 4 Ohio State coaches on the stage, and Kirk kind of ran their whole Q&A.
But because of amateurism, he can only be the college Ohio's finest.
Right.
Yeah.
You are the pros Ohio's finest.
Men's league.
Exactly.
Man, we got the entire state.
What, a slow news day or what? What's going on? Slow sports
Well,
day?
certainly, but I mean, we should dive into it right now. We just hadn't talked about your championship in a long time. We need people to remember that you're a guy.
Yeah.
You're not just a guy that's over there.
I need to find a way to make
What is
money
that?
off
They're
this.
trying to steal my gig. Have you seen that? Have you seen that?
Is that season 3?
Yeah.
I haven't started season 3 yet.
Anyways, people are saying that you're potentially, sometimes, you know what I mean? But we want to remind them that you're a fucking guy, dude, okay? All-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers and Ohio's finest alongside Kirk Herbstreit, who is currently entrenched in a battle
man.
over Cincinnati Reds baseball.
Yeah.
And I love that the world is basically finding out how big of a fan of the Cincinnati Reds Kirk Herbstreit is. He's speaking very passionately about this team that has been in the fucking gutter for some time.
Long time.
And now they're starting to get good. Can we take it easy is what he's saying. Times are about to get good again. Like whenever I was back in Centerville High School, and I think he has does he have most of the baseball records, or did have most baseball records at that high school? Do you remember?
I don't know. I would assume he does. Yeah, I don't know though.
So I think what I've been told is, in just information in my brain, and I might have just made it up because I heard one story, but I feel like I was told that he was a very accomplished baseball player in high school.
The guy.
Like could have been baseball guy, but obviously loved football, was from Ohio State opportunity to play football. Like you're going to do that. So he loves this Reds team. He's in a social media war. Have you seen this, AJ?
I saw a little bit of it. I saw he and Rosenthal going back and forth, and then Kirk doesn't seem like he's backing down, is he?
No, pretty passionate.
And neither are they.
Kirk.
I don't think Kirk knew he was in for this war of attrition when this whole thing started, because both sides are willing to have a Pyrrhic victory here and just go until the bitter end.
What did they call La Faire?
Yeah, some French.
Yeah, what was
term.
that?
I don't know. I took a lot of
like
years
that.
of French. I don't know what it means, but it is cool sounding.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like La Faire.
Was it meant to be a positive?
No,
I don't think so.
I thought l'affaire was like a not an affair in a marital way, but like a argument mix-up.
Oh, the mix-up. So
Yeah.
there
L'affaire.
would be the in this situation. I do believe.
That would make
Exactly.
sense.
I think that's what it meant.
How did it start? What was the initial start of this?
Herbstreit said, "I don't want to hear this." Pretty much.
Yeah.
Trying to
In a
push,
video
trying to push Jonathan India.
on YouTube.
Yeah, so they were comparing stats or something, trying to move a player that is in the infield for the Cincinnati Reds that Herbstreit loves. I guess this guy brings an edge to the dugout.
Heart and soul. Heart and soul of the squad.
He is. He's an all-star.
Yeah, we need this guy. We like this guy. And I guess there was an article that was pretty well thought out and obviously well done and held in high regards because Rosenthal is the Athletics baseball, right? Like he is.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty heavy name in the baseball world.
Yep.
And he, did you read the entire article? Do you know the beginnings? He basically said that get this guy out of the infield. And then Herbstreit, as big-time Reds fan, offended that this is even being talked about because of how good they are. And then now it's gone to a point where they're like, hey, Herbie, we'll cover them, okay, because we're media. You fan them.
You fucking root for him, okay?
Mark.
Yeah.
There's a
Pretty
difference.
much. It basically started because, Jonathan India, who is the Reds' best player, he's an all-star. The Reds have the number one prospect in the MLB in their farm system right now, and they're saying that they need to bring him up, get him on the team, and if that happens, there's a chance he's going to have to move into Jonathan India's spot. They might have to move him into the outfield or into some other position. And, Herbie's saying, hey, the Reds haven't been worth a fuck in a long time, okay? And this guy is the one shining light we got right now. He brings an edge. He's, kind of almost a team captain, if you will. And you guys want to just ship him out of town? You want to get rid of him while the Reds are playing good baseball for once? I don't think so. And then these guys basically came back with the classic, like, well, Kirk, if you would have read the fucking article and actually read what I said, and then now it's kind of turned into a little bit of a name-calling fest. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a scuffle.
And we thought it was going to end, but then, this morning, right before the show, I mean, you just so eloquently put it, they basically said, hey, listen, we cover baseball, we cover the team. Why don't you just fucking shut up and root for him, okay?
Yeah.
It was an interesting little moment.
It was.
Yeah.
But you know exactly where Herbie's coming from. Like, oh, Ken, you have actual say in baseball. Okay? People believe you and listen to you. Reds fans are going to listen to what you just said and say, yeah, and Herbie's like, can we not, please?
Yeah. And
you got to love the passion from Herbie.
Yeah, completely. And then on the other side, you got to be like, we're allowed to say whatever the fuck we want. Which is basically what they said.
Yeah, well, Herbie has to realize that's affecting everybody. Because, I mean, this morning, I don't know if I was the only one who picked up on it, but little Jake was beside himself, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Was he? He was a little, he was quiet.
Hands trembling over there.
Yeah, sweating.
Looked like he wanted to
No, he's just waiting. He's gathering addresses. He's going to go show up at the doorstep of some of these people.
Why? Like,
how
many murders do you think are in this?
His name's not
I
Bailey.
didn't say he's going to do anything physical. He wants to talk to him. He's from that younger generation. They talk things out. They figured out, hey, stop talking to my dad like that.
You're right. Because the way you made it sound was as if he was going to show up and be like,
We need to meet up. We need to communicate better, right? Let's communicate.
Yeah,
I think the way you delivered it was the reason why.
Well, I mean, I can't help how you interpret what I say.
Yeah, well, actually, kind of, but you're right. I guess that is interesting because whenever you just write down quotes.
Yeah, written out.
And how the person decides to read it.
Yeah, is how.
Oh, that's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Much different than actually listening to the words.
And I'm only saying that because I was in an entanglement, like not the Jada Smith one, like an actual one,
Sure.
litigation-wise. And I read some of the quotes. And then you listen to other people read the quotes. It's like, boy.
That delivery is important.
That context kind of matters. You know what I mean? Context kind of matters. Tone kind of matters. And here we have the champion of Ohio saying, my delivery doesn't matter at all in how I say things.
Some people.
Oh, my God, AJ.
Classic Ohio.
Welcome to reality, pal. It does matter.
Welcome to the modern world.
Let's talk about
your reality.
Let's talk about something that does matter, though, AJ. This Denver Nuggets team is awesome.
So sweet.
They are so much fun to watch play basketball. Obviously, their arena is electrifying. That game started 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, obviously, that's enough time to do stuff. But nighttime games probably much easier for everybody, especially with anybody who has a family or anything going on at work, or maybe you have to stay after at your job a little bit. But hey, we got a finals game. Let's do that whole thing. So them showing up the way they did, how they did, the fans knowing what is on the right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Is the first ever championship. I mean, what a night last night in Denver. I was pumped for them and their fans and everything going on over there.
Yeah, I'm obviously they are very fun to watch. I don't really have like 100% rooting interest in either team. I respect both of them. I like both of them. I'm not sure what I want out of the series, but there's no way the Heat are going to miss every shot they take at the next game. Like, they're going to have to figure something out.
That's what I said. Like, at some point, a ball has to go into the hoop for him from three. But does it matter, like, maybe to cover? Does it matter to win, though? Like, this team, they're so good because, like, Joker is an alien.
Yeah, 101.
Yeah.
Right? And we don't.
No one's like him.
And he's in Denver, too?
Yes.
With everything Bill Walton was saying? Oh.
Interesting. The center
Wow.
of the universe.
Interesting.
Joker, huh?
Oh, who's the Joker? Us?
Yeah, are we joking? Or are they joking?
Who is joking?
Oh, not me.
Oh. Anyways, would make sense if that was the case.
Yeah.
If he was not from Serbia and he was from another planet, it would make sense because the way he just has vision and physicality and touch and finesse, it doesn't make sense. It all comes in one person. With how big he is, you would think his knees or his ankles or his hips or his back. The fucking back is always somebody's problem who runs a lot, especially on wood. That's a pretty hard surface you're running on. And you're big. Like, he's a big dude. He seems to be quick, agile, has finesse. He has the power game. He's like incredibly humble. If somebody was created to be like your team's favorite superstar,
exactly,
it'd be like this guy. Now, I don't know how his English is. I don't think I hear him talk much. If he could speak a little bit more, I would assume people would love. But he is like the fucking perfect front man. He's the perfect star for a team, it seems like, and I love everything about it. But on the flip side, Jimmy Butler Jimmy Butler is a
Right.
guy
Kind of the same deal,
that
yeah.
I would absolutely love to see him win. So to your point, I have no rooting interest as well. Rooting interest, though, let's go ahead and pivot away from the NBA, the association. We'll get back to it. Let's go into the league, the NFL. And in the NFL, there are teams that can go on a run. There are teams that are trying to get to a place where they can go on a run. And there are teams that are nowhere fucking near going on a run. When you're talking about going on a run, there's like 7, 8 teams every single year that could potentially win a Super Bowl. That's kind of how all the super high-end football minds think from coaches and GMs. There's like 8 teams that could probably go on a run. Now, Cincinnati a couple years back, whenever they went from 4 wins all the way to the Super Bowl and losing, like I assume that debunked the theory of all that. But there's like 6, 7, 8 teams that are probably realistically going to be the ones that are standing in the end. This team has been in it for the last 4 years, the team that is going to go win the Super Bowl. It's because they have a culture that's fantastic, a bunch of dogs in the locker room, and I think it's because they got some leadership at a position that is very important, which is center. This guy is awesome. Beard fantastic, moments electrifying, full-on dude that you would want to have on your offensive line. Center for the Buffalo Bills, Mitch Morris.
Yeah!
What's up, dude?
Fellas, how we doing?
Thank you for joining us. Have you always had a beard? Because it feels like in every photo I see, it is a proper beard hanging down pretty thick.
Dude, well, so the Morses don't have very big chins. So, like, it really ends, like, right there. You see that?
Oh.
So, if I don't have a beard, it just looks like a dick. Just like kind of goes from there. So,
imagine you wear
a beard is a necessity.
Yeah, a nice little tan turtleneck. You know what I mean? And then just go ahead and shave that thing back.
Full body.
Yeah, it'd be great. The Morses just walk around town. All right, I love everything about it. I just talked about the moments that you've had at center. And I think it's because the moments that get picked up nationally and are big-time stories. For instance, this past year, you were part of the Hall of Fame photo, I do believe, of the year whenever you were consoling Trey White after the loss. And it's like, you look at this photo and it's like, well, why did this win? Well, because this is like a perfect depiction of what a fucking NFL team is and what you hope NFL teammates are like. And then there's a play that we all remember from this past season where Josh Allen's getting into it a little bit, huh? A little late block, huh? Christian Wilkins, I push you back. Christian Wilkins said, nah, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And then all of a sudden, big boy comes rumbling in who's fighting for his quarterback. You are seemingly like best teammate of all time.
Yeah.
Is that something you focus on? Have the Morses always had no chins and been great teammates? Or how did you kind of find yourself in this role, you think?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, as a young dude in the league, for me at least, like, you get the older guys, and I feel like the older you are in the league, you can kind of be crass to younger dudes and just kind of get in your kind of lane. And for me, I've always wanted to have a relationship with guys. Like, for me, my biggest, like, what I hang my laurels on and I'm proudest of is being a good teammate, being a good dude, and being someone you can come talk to. Because I remember I have my own set of problems that I need to vent to my other guys too. So if there's ever an opportunity for me to just kind of be there for my guys or just have a relationship or just play a game of pool in the basement, like, I just want to be your dude.
Yeah, and that photo was from the Damar Hamlin evening, which is like the most serious night a team has ever experienced, it feels like. So I apologize for getting it wrong. But nonetheless, like, in a moment of full chaos, in a moment of full emotional, I couldn't even fathom the up and downs there because how close a team grows, especially how close your team has grown. So to see the like pillar of strength, like it's a big deal. And I appreciate that you have that view, and I'm thankful that we all got to get to see it. Go ahead, AJ.
Now, watching that video, obviously, it was amazing. I think that's anyone that's a coach of a team would love to see that. Like, you want to see guys standing up for their quarterback, especially. But with Josh Allen, I would imagine that's a pretty easy thing to do, to come to that dude's defense or help him, because he's just this big monster that seems to rumble around the field. He's not scared to be physical. Like, he's one of the guys, isn't he?
No, he's a homie, dude. Like, he just runs around out there like a lunatic. And, you want to do that for your quarterback just in general, but he really is just a A1 dude. Just a kick-ass dude. And, you see something like that, the Holy Spirit kind of takes over, and you run into the fray. Like, I'm a pacifist myself, right? But something clicked, and, Christian Wilkins is a really good football player, and it's one of those things that, right here, nothing really being said. It's just it's my first time ever been in a fight, to be honest, and then I get hip tossed, which was really fun. And then I get up, and I think I'm going to swing, and then you realize, like, I don't want to get fined. Like it's a lot of dough. But that being said, like Josh Allen is the guy. They're a really good dude, and that's my people, man. So when you see that, you just got to take care of them.
So is everybody in the locker room awesome? Like Poyer comes on the show, he's awesome. For us, I assume the same thing over there, the way he talks about the team. Josh Allen, awesome, right?
Yeah.
Von Miller, hey, we've got a chance to chat with Von Miller, and obviously he joined you. He seems awesome. Like, is that McDermott's awesome? Bean seems fucking awesome. Every human we've talked to, and obviously it's our first time talking to you, we will assume because you immediately said your head is shaped like a penis in your first answer. So we're a big fan. We are a big fan of yours or whatever. But like, is it the entire locker room is just awesome? And how vital is that, you think, to a team success?
Totally. I think from the top to the bottom, what they look for first and foremost is just what kind of dudes they got and the character in that locker room, which I think is exacerbated certain times and also kind of a cliche answer for a lot of organizations. But I kind of think they put their money where their mouth is in regards to finding good dudes at first and then, kind of building them into good football players or just kind of valuing the personality first before football. And for the most part, I think the best football players have been around. There's some outliers, but usually good dudes.
Yeah, it's a big deal. But sometimes stats get in the way. People, this guy ran a 4.3, whatever. He's got to be great. Our system needs a fast guy. Yeah, but like he comes in here and everybody hates the guy. And then if he makes some friends, and then that spreads. That's like something they talk about, like being cancer in the locker room, and that's such a serious way to describe something. But whenever they're saying that, they're saying like, hey, all you need is just one turd to be in the wrong room. You know what I mean? You get one bad person in the wrong room, then all of a sudden that matriculates through that room. And if anything goes wrong, they start recruiting others into it almost. And then all of a sudden that little bamboo seed that you buried way down in there, that thing just takes off and it kind of takes over and changes an entire mindset. It is so vital. It honestly is so damn important. I'm happy to hear that Brandon Beane, who seems like a guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Gets that the most. McDermott's awesome, huh? That guy, he's jocked. Is he jocked? He's jocked right now?
Yeah, a little bit. He's a good dude, man. I think one of those things that when I first got here is trying to kind of figure out how he wanted to be a football coach as well as a leader of men. And it's just kind of fun to see him grow along with us in regards to just being just an awesome guy and really cares about our character and us as people before being football players. I think that was really the deal last year with DeMar, right? Like, so he was vulnerable, his vulnerability to the team, really taking care of us and really kind of focusing on our mental, not only our faculties, but just where we were as a team, understanding just the gravity and the severity of the situation and how everyone was going to kind of intrinsically take care of that and how they were going to have the timeline for guys coming back just to be mentally into playing a football game 6 days later. It was just cool, man, because he really cared about us as dudes first before football players.
Yeah, that doesn't come in the coach's manual. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, it doesn't. I wanted to ask about that. Like, caring about you. Like, what's the old saying? They don't know how much you care until you know whatever it is?
They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Yeah.
There you go. Why is that why is that? Well, I guess, why do we have to talk about it? Like, man, this is amazing. This guy cares about me. Why can't that be everywhere?
That's a good question, AJ. I think it's, this league is transactional. You really try to get the whole family atmosphere, right? But that's hard to do, especially in a business, right? You preach. Let's make this a family. And then in the end, you kind of, whether you feel like business gets in the way or, other kind of things that come about, I really do think that he truly puts us as people as a priority, where we are as our families. I mean, if anything comes up with families, it's just, it's that first. Take care of that, and then football follow. And the same thing with being teammates. And camaraderie is such an important thing for him. I think OTAs for him, it's just like yesterday canceled that we had a golf tournament. Like, it was just kind of a fun deal to get the guys out there.
Who won? Who won?
I don't totally. I didn't.
So it wasn't you.
Ike Buckner won. I didn't play at all, so it was fun.
But you just hung out, drove some carts, kept score.
Well, so I'm shitty, and so I don't want to go out there like that. And I got 2 elbows that have been surgically repaired, and it's just kind of a dumpster fire. But for me, like team morale, right? Like a dude, I just want guys to have fun, make sure that everything's going well. a lot of high fives,
Nice.
handshakes, passing out a few, spicy Gatorades, what we call them, a few beers maybe.
What?
Go out there and just have a good time.
Oh, okay. So you were boozing yesterday. All right.
What?
Like that. Hey.
No.
No, obviously, if you were, though.
Yes.
If you would have been
Theory.
boozing or whatever. That's an incredible. That's the Buffalo Bills right now.
Yeah, bingo.
Like, hey, think about how smart that is at this stage of the game. With how many returners, you got a lot of people back, right? Am I wrong in thinking that? You got.
We're very fortunate in that aspect.
So everybody knows their shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're all here. Everybody's here. We're hanging out. Let's go ahead and build this. So this fall, we can go on a run for the ages. How much is that talked about or thought about, man? So close, right? So close. We were fucking so close up there in Buffalo.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Like every time someone asks me how we're going to be, I tell them, I'll tell you in January. Like you go with these teams that just in the past, where the teams that you think are going to make a run and they don't, or these teams like I don't know if we got it, and you make this beautiful run. Like we got the people, we got the camaraderie, we got the coaches, we got the returners, we got it all. It really is just putting it together and also timing of it, right? Like so. It'll be the ebbs and flows of the season. Injuries play a role. There's so many dependent variables that we're just hoping that those will line up, and we're partying at the end of the season, hopefully.
Hell yeah! In the recipe, you're saying all the ingredients. It feels like we got them
in the building.
Now, all you need is, and obviously this won't happen to anybody in the NFL this year. This is actually going to be the first year this won't happen.
Here we go.
Okay, which is cool.
Yep.
It's cool to think about. But all you need is like an injury at like one position that potentially something happened. That's why what the Patriots were able to do for so long is like mind-blowing because the amount of luck or fortune that potentially had to go there, or Gates.
True.
All of the Gates.
Also part of it.
All of the Gates.
Like
but it
20 Gates.
is like everybody just expects like, okay, yeah, you guys go win the Super Bowl. It's like, all right, yeah. There's an added game now too, so we got even more room for fuck-ups to happen.
Thursday
or something.
flex.
How about the Thursday night flex? You like that? Hate that? What are your thoughts on it?
It's just I don't get it. I really don't.
Okay, hold on, because Jason Kelsey, right? He went on and said basically like anybody that's against this, they don't actually feel that way or something. He was pretty passionate about it because I think he knows. And he was bringing up the business side of it all, right? Like the amount of money that's possible for players and for teams and for everything in the NFL. Like this is something, Jason, it felt like, and we haven't asked him since, but it felt like he was like, we can do this for what the potential upside is almost. What are your thoughts on it? And obviously there's a lot of big men. Obviously you're a fucking giant. You are a big dude. I mean, 6'6" is fucking massive.
Damn.
Center is a massive. That's a massive human being lumbering. So sometimes those bigger bodies, from my experience, and it takes a little bit longer to potentially get the train back rolling after a beatdown that is an NFL football game. So I'm excited to hear your thoughts, and that's why whenever I heard Jason Kelsey say what he said, I was like, damn, that's like the first time I've heard big guy almost go to the bat for Thursday Night Football. But the business, I think, and everything else that comes alongside of it is why he was saying it.
First of all, Jason Kelsey, absolute savage, absolute dude. I mean, as a center, you watch guys and you try to kind of resonate with them or try to kind of copy what they can do, and he's just in a league of his own. So, and he keeps getting better with age. So, kudos to him. Big fan of Jason. I hadn't really thought about the business side. To the point, it's just for me, like it's about the dudes, like turnover time. I guess there's a safe way to do it, and that might be an oxymoron, just because Thursday night games are the absolute shits in general for players, just the turnaround time. The only good thing about that is that you can have those, if you strategically have them in the season, you can have those 3 or 4 days. You can treat it like a mini bye week, which is cool. But you just see it. For me, I'm sure there's a business side to it, and the last thing I want to do is piss Jason off or say anything.
No. I don't think you piss anybody off.
That being said, I just don't see it, and I hate him with a passion. So
that was seemingly the take by every player pretty much. Now for me, obviously, you know this. My position, like most grueling, physically, mentally tasking, you know what I mean? Just so hard.
So many car crashes.
Week in, week out. They go to meetings. I have nothing to do. What am I? That's hard. You know what I mean?
It's tougher.
That's very, very hard for me. You know?
Fighting boredom.
Oh my God.
It's brutal.
All day. Have you ever thought about it? Oh, exhausting.
Can't imagine.
Exhausting. So the Thursday night games, I never had any like, okay, I'm cool, man. Thursday, I'm practicing on Thursday anyways. I'm bombing balls on Thursdays. That's cool with me. We don't have to change a single thing for this. But every human I saw pretty much hated the Thursday night games. So that's why, like, it's going to two of them. It's going to two of them, I think, potentially for same teams. They're going to start flexing them. That's going to become a night, especially with, you know how much money Bezos has all of the money. So, like, they are definitely going to make that work, you know, Mitch?
Listen, Toradol is a hell of a drug, right? But like, that's a quick turnaround even for Toradol, right? that's I don't know, dude. I just don't. The money is there, and I get it. Like, higher powers that be understand the dollar signs, but for me, I'm just trying not to, get my 20th concussion. Right? And then the turnaround is just like it's. I just don't like it.
Tone has a question for you.
Mitch, Pat mentioned it, 6'6", and I looked it up. One of, if not the tallest centers in the league, and this is going to sound fucking stupid. But has anybody ever said that at the center position, 6'6" might be a detriment? Has like anybody ever said that, or is just being big, and that's a good thing?
No, that's a good question. I think for me, it was moving in. I got short arms that keep getting shorter with every surgery I get, and I would think it myself. Like my rookie year, I'm getting ran over by like Linval Joseph and all these dudes before you kind of figure out how to use your leverage. And as I'm falling back, I'm like, I'm too tall for this shit, and just getting drilled into the sideline. But no, I think if you can play, you can play. Every person's physiological makeup kind of has pros and cons for different positions. I've seemed to found a way to kind of go with it, but that leverage battle is always something, especially in the interior and at center. So it's something that you're constantly working on and have to remind yourself. But this league has a way of reminding you every so often.
How come those short arms guys always they say, hey, listen, you're in the middle. Yep. You got AQ Shipley.
Because it's an island out there, dude. Like, those dudes are absolute savages on the side, and these little things aren't doing squat against a dude like Chandler Jones, who can tie his shoe standing up. So, like, it's just one of those things that thank God I'm inside, to be honest.
Could you imagine? I mean, obviously you have, and I've seen you'd be in a much better spot than me, but I don't think people fully comprehend, like, what the tackles are doing, how they're doing them, and what they have to kind of live up to while moving backwards.
Yeah.
So, like, you're fighting backwards while you're moving backwards, and then you got, like, some of the most gifted humans of all time, maybe? Of all time, like 6'4", 250, 240,
4'4",
4'3", like just 6'5", 6'6", even some of them, like and able to move faster than you and to touch the ground while they're sprinting, like some of the. And then if they just put that paw on you, your hands don't matter.
Nope.
Like, I'm gonna get my hands on it. Are you? I don't think so. I don't. Back in the day, you used to just hit people in the head. I guess that was the play.
Yeah, I mean, like, just seeing Von Miller in practice when he's going, and I'm sitting out there watching these tackles, just and they're doing a great job, but they're fighting for their life out there, right? Because Von is just one of those special dudes, and I mean, he'll twist in every so often, your eyes get real big, but it's just one of those, just a dude like that. And that might not be fair because he transcended the game of football, Hall of Famer. But just seeing dudes like that out there, it makes me very thankful to be inside.
Yeah, well, the inside has other duties as well that you have to pick up. Sounds like you're an incredibly intelligent human just by a few of the words that you've used in this conversation. Also, you're an NFL center, so that's. What else would you be doing if you weren't a center in the NFL?
Oh, Jesus. It's a great question. I got my degree in food and beverage, but that was mostly to get through college. And also just the beverage part was really cool. I got there, I did the hospitality thing, the hotel thing. And just to go up from there, it was absolutely a nightmare. So the whole food and beverage thing was really cool. You did an internship at Anheuser-Busch. And so maybe I'm not a very big drinker myself, but it's a very personal business and elastic demand, like win or lose, you're drinking booze, right?
Hell yeah.
So it's just a very personal business. I really enjoy it. And, we'll see what happens after football. I have no idea. You a
foodie? You eating that weird shit? You enjoy eating that stuff that not very filling, but super duper, you know what I'm saying?
No. To be honest, dude, the food and beverage part, the food part, I know how to not get you salmonella.
Thank you.
That's about the only thing I know how to cook your food, internal temperature. You'll be good. I got by the skin of my teeth, but it was really the beverage part. I think that's just a really fun deal, the alcohol part of it, and
What
it's a
about
fun
the
business.
THC drinks? Have you? And now, obviously, what to each their own or whatever. That's going to become a big time business, I think. Just as somebody that has experienced the dope drinks in a couple different states, they are a delightful little treat. They are. You just put them in a cup with some ice, and it is your own cocktail there. I think they're going to get in there. I think all the beer companies are going to get in there too. I think there's a.
There's so much money to be made, Pat. I think it's wild. So I'm not going to answer that totally because I want my mom's going to watch this and. Ask me in a few years, Pat, and we'll be sauced up having a good time.
Okay, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Mama Morse. I'm talking about me, not obviously.
No. I listen. I think it's kick-ass, dude. I think there's a lot of dough to be made, and it'll be interesting to see when the regulations come down on that, how it's going to be distributed.
Here we go.
Whoever can get the cornerstone on that is going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, 10-4. Go ahead, AJ.
Mitch, are O-linemen the smartest guys in the NFL, you think, as a position?
That's a good. I think quarterback inherently, you just have so much on your plate. Not only is it the most important position, you're just hearing a play call. Like you get in the huddle and you have these quarterbacks that can really take command of a huddle, and they have these super long play calls. And you look at each each position group that it pertains to, and you think there's 100 of these calls in a game, right? Or there's certain in a game plan. How do you remember all this? And I would like to think we're the second smartest. But I don't think you can really put anyone near a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, some of those quarterbacks, though.
Yeah.
They make it look so...
But that's speculation, dude. I don't know.
No, I'm saying they make it look so easy. I'm saying they'll make it look so easy.
No doubt.
They make it look so... Like, Aaron makes it look so... Like, when Aaron Rodgers is rolling, okay? And obviously the amount of study time it takes to break down what a fucking defense is going to do and also everything that your people are going to do. It's like, that's a next level. Like, I think some of these quarterbacks' brains are just like that, and people don't even really comprehend it or appreciate it. You know what I mean?
No doubt. First of all, Aaron didn't have to come to AFC East. That kind of a bummer. But,
yeah, what's that all about?
What is that all
hey,
about?
dude, it's the absolute poops. I don't
Prick.
It is, isn't it?
He had a good thing going on in Green Bay, and
I'll say.
he really bummed us off.
That was a
But that being said, there are some dudes like that really are on a whole different level. You hear a guy like Aaron talk, and it really is kind of fun just to see not only how his brain works, but when it pertains to football too. Like he's just on a whole different spectrum. And when you have a guy like that at the helm, I think the Jets, you'll see him really take a big step this year because he's awesome.
I got to watch Peyton work, obviously, and I was in rooms where I didn't understand a word that was being said anywhere, but I did know, like, the amount of preparation and study that's going into this, I don't think anybody has enough respect for or appreciate for, and especially at center. So we appreciate you joining us. I hope you're enjoying the hell out of OTAs. Let's go win one out for Buffalo.
Here you go, Mitch.
Let's go win
Appreciate
one for
you, guys.
Buffalo. Have fun out there, man.
Appreciate you guys. I really take it. Is Pac-Man in there today?
He is not.
No.
You know, in spirit though, what's going on? You know what we can?
I got. You got 1 minute. Like Pac-Man. First of all, awesome.
We got an hour 16.
Yep.
Hour 16 at
Let it
least
rip.
at this time. So dive in.
So Pac-Man, awesome dude. Love you, Pac. My rookie year was 2015. I'm with the Chiefs, and it was our third game. It was my third ever football game. We had actually been to Green Bay and gotten spanked on Monday Night Football.
Hell yeah.
And we're going to Sunday. And the Chiefs, what they would do is they'd like 2 hours before the game. It wasn't required, but we'd go out and we'd stretch as a group. Probably so 25, 30 dudes go out there, and we're stretching and we're having a good time and kind of getting ready for the game. And Pac-Man walks behind our area and just starts talking the craziest shit, chirping like 25 dudes. And we're sitting there like, this guy is, it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Just the bravado you have to do that. And I mean, it was one of many welcome to the NFL moments. And just the dude is awesome, and I'm really glad he's on y'all's team because. Oh, and by the way, congratulations on the new deal, guys. That's really awesome.
Dude, thank you. We appreciate the hell out of you for saying that, and also
new dad, that's on fire, pal.
Yeah,
dude.
Life's good for you guys, so keep it rolling.
Hell yeah. I'm very lucky. We're very thankful and appreciate you following along with our story. That Pac-Man, then also thank you for telling that Pac-Man story.
Yes.
That Pac-Man story is awesome. Did he have headphones on? Take him out?
It's one of those things I didn't want to make too much eye contact. I'm a rookie. I'm just kind of turning around, seeing it. Yeah, he had like one on, the one on, but the one kind of off. So he could listen to his music, but still hear if anyone chirped back. And he went after it. And then they beat the brakes off of us. It was game, set, match for the guy. It was just fun. It was really one of those fun experiences you get to think back, and I get to tell my kids one day.
Dude, he used to just catch my punts in warm-ups. You know how like he used to do that.
Yeah.
Like our guy would be back there, and then he would just slip in and just like catch one or whatever, and it would always be a big scene. Like he's not allowed to do that. He's not allowed to be catching the butts. It was
Yeah, he
like,
didn't.
who's gonna tell him? You gonna tell him?
Go over there.
Yeah, if I tell like, all right, Pac, you're not gonna do that. He will catch every one of them. We are lucky he's in here, man. Off air. Just the shit that just comes out.
The best.
It's fantastic, as are you. We appreciate you, man. Have a great off season.
Thank you for having us on, fellas. Take it easy.
Hell yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Mitch Morris. He was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, it just sucks, like, as a Patriots fan, because all the Bills guys are so cool.
No, not only just the Bills, guys. Let's keep talking about the AFC East a little bit. Videos have surfaced out of New England's training camp of Mac Jones speaking about the new offensive command and pyramid and tier. And this is what Mac Jones had to say about Billy O'Brien being the offensive coordinator and the New England Patriots having an offensive staff different from last year's offensive staff filled with non-offensive people.
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been normal. I think everything he's done so far has been really good. I think the communication is the most important part, and trust. I think it all starts with that when you're with a new coach, and he's done a great job in controlling the room. I feel like everyone's on the same page. Just got to continue to do it. It's a marathon, not a sprint, so we know that. And he's obviously had great experience in the NFL and at Alabama where I was at, so there's a lot of good stuff that we've talked about, and just looking forward to working with him.
Yeah, it's normal, AJ. It's normal. Yeah, we got to...
Was there any follow-ups?
Offense.
Like, what was last year?
Well, I don't know.
Abnormal.
I think it was normal. He didn't say.
The opposite of normal?
He didn't say that, it is a little bit different to be in the NFL with, like, people that just are offensive people.
Yeah.
It is a little bit different. And Bill Belichick was asked what was one of the pioneers of their offense last year, alongside Matt Patricia, former special teams coordinator for the New England Patriots, who go on to be the New York Giants head football coach because of how great of a special teams coordinator he was running the offense alongside Matt Patricia last year. Bill Belichick was asked, hey, what's Joe Judge doing this year?
Bill, can you help us understand what Joe Judge's role will be with the team this year?
Yeah, he'll do whatever I ask him to do.
Thanks for asking.
Beast.
I had not seen that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So good.
So I love that in New England right now, that whole experiment they did last year is seemingly the focal point of every conversation that's making its way national.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, like Mac Jones, it's normal. That's what everybody's like, yeah, it's normal. We got an offensive guy who did offensive stuff both in the NFL 1 and in college, exactly where I was from. So we kind of talk about that a little bit.
Same page, everybody.
What a time for the New England Patriots, man. It seems like they have all the spite that they could potentially need from how the conversation's going around the rest of the AFC East. And are they finding their fastball again, AJ? Is Bill Belichick finding his fastball again?
They better hope they do, but I think that's a good point, though. They have all these people doubting from the outside. We know the AFC is getting better everywhere you look. And they're sitting there probably thinking, like, hey, no one's giving us a chance. So maybe they can find a way to rally the troops and, build the chips and see where it takes them, I guess. I don't
Connor,
know.
you got to be happy.
Mac better play well. Mac better play very well.
Yeah, and we think he will. The way can we get the guy a podium maybe to stand?
Yeah, why is he standing like that?
Yeah, can we see rest his arm?
Post-practice, tired. I mean, come on, guys. You guys understand.
At some point you could have they could have just...
Oh, I agree.
Even the Cincinnati Bengals, they had that one where they just were able to roll it in front.
Yeah, he needs a podium. I completely agree. But no, it's a win-win. Or
put him in a swaddle. I've been doing a lot of swaddle.
Sure. Swaddle would have been nice.
Swaddle, get the hands naturally.
Maybe even just a crate or like a stool.
I'm joking. He looked fantastic. But everybody judges every part of that. Like,
of course.
The girl, was she actually closed captioning what he was saying? Did you see her flying on her phone? I mean,
there's a record button on your phone, so I assume she's just texting friends.
I thought she was PR. Because if you see the guys on the right, their badges are media, and on the left side, I thought that she might be someone who works for the
Or, she might be social, too. I mean,
that's what I mean.
There's so many different... But she was...
firing away.
If she's keeping up word for word, I'm incredibly impressed. There's some people that are doing that now in the media.
Oh, yeah.
They're tweeting alongside press conferences and interviews that are happening and seemingly getting every word right. I don't know how the brain is able to do that or function, because you're going to misquote somebody and really put somebody in a...
Then you're in trouble.
There's a chance like real hell can break loose. But that entire video is judged immediately upon exiting. And the fact that they're saying it's normal, you got to be pumped.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially with Bill O'Brien, that was the biggest thing this offseason. Like, who cares? Sure, we could add a couple pieces, but the same exact team that we had that went to the playoffs now just had a different OC, and he wasn't an OC. He was a DC, so Bill O'Brien being there is just fantastic. And to AJ's point, if Mac plays good, sweet. We'll probably be in the hunt or in a wild card spot. And if he plays bad, also sweet. We'll probably have a top 10 pick, and we'll make moves next year.
Yeah, big-time first-round pick guys up there in New England.
Oh, yeah. Our lowest pick in the last, 10, 15, 20, 25 years was Mac Jones at 15.
And Bill won't trade out of there, right? If he was to have a top 10 pick, top 5 pick.
Well, the way they're talking about next year's draft, who knows? But the way this past year, you could tell, obviously, he was going to trade out of there.
How about him thinking about making moves? And how do they right the ship? And he has a record, right, on the horizon, Bill Belichick? What is
yes, he does. I believe he is 30-so games away from the all-time wins. Yeah, the all-time wins leader, Don Shula.
Okay. So that's what everybody's like, well, this is clearly what Bill Belichick is aiming to do or shooting to do. But is there anything else Bill Belichick will want to do with the rest of his life? Like,
Be a boat captain?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Right, he does.
There's nothing where he's like, there we go. I have officially arrived. I am done with football. Like, I don't see a guy like that just turning it off.
Command a naval warship.
So you know how they're potential. I mean,
he could do
maybe a lacrosse coach.
That's probably the one thing I would actually say. Yeah, he would want to do that is command a naval warship, because the coaches always say, and you brought
he wants to
it
go
up.
to war. You think?
I could see Bill. Yeah, I could see him do it.
Like if everyone.
I mean, Bill would go to war.
Yeah,
but we're saying he wants to do this, not like he has to do this.
Right. Yeah, like that is something he would want to do.
Yeah. Really?
Be on the sea, bunch of the guys, locker room, environment. But you've said it before. Coaches, they turn a certain age and they're like, holy shit, like I haven't spent time with my family. His two sons are on the staff. It's not as if he's missing anything outside of the family realm, and outside of that for football, there's really nothing.
Yeah, and the whole thought that he probably told his tight people, his tight,
the Bill circle.
The kids, I assume, are in there, obviously, with the way
Nike.
Nike, the Husky dog,
Wombo,
Michael Lombardi, obviously there.
Nick Saban.
Whenever the whole world, whenever the whole world was getting real loud about Tom Brady or Bill Belichick, what's Kraft going to do?
Yeah.
Before Tom Brady's out of the building and before Tom Brady's a free agent for the first time in his NFL career and he goes to Tampa Bay, when that decision is made, Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft tells Bill Belichick what's going to happen and how he feels it's going to go. And Bill Belichick says to his type people, he said, Tom Brady's going to play a year, maybe two, retire. I'm still going to be coaching long after Tom Brady's playing football.
Yep.
So when Tom Brady's getting honored at that first home game, I wonder if there'll be a moment of Bill Belichick just being like, I win. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Like with when they're hanging about congrats, you got another, all the guys I coach pretty much have banners, still doing it. Just still in here grinding away every single fucking day. Doing this, his commitment to football is bananas.
Yeah.
It is absolutely bananas.
Well, and he's not in it just to outlast people. Like, he's coaching because he wants to win another Super Bowl. Like, I feel like that's obvious, but sometimes it's lost when we're talking about, like, records and stuff. Like, Bill wouldn't continue to coach if he didn't think in a realistic world that he could win another Super Bowl before he's done.
This was the shot they had of him waiting to see which coach was going to leave the building.
Yep.
So,
that's awesome.
He does strike me as one of those guys, like they say, like when Paterno stopped coaching, he died like 2 weeks after it. Like he seems like the kind of guy who, like, when he's done coaching, he's done, and he'll just like pass away. Like it's kind of
thought
morbid
about that
to say
too.
that. Oh yeah,
he's guaranteed because a lot of those coaches they talk about it.
Yeah.
Tom Moore right now,
bingo,
is coaching for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He backed up Johnny Unitas,
84,
still coaching.
It's nuts.
Still coaching in the NFL right now.
Would you see Bill as an analyst?
What's that, pal?
Would you see Bill as an analyst at all?
He would have to.
He did that.
When he was doing that
show. Yeah, he did that show.
Oh, you're talking about the top 100 or something.
Yeah.
And
that was a great show.
And the HBO doc.
I thought he showed a lot of character. Like I thought he was pretty good.
He's good at talking about other players. He does it every week.
Yeah. That's the only thing.
He could join the panel. He could be on like a pregame, halftime show. He could get on a panel, and I think, like anything, if Bill decided to be good, he would be great on.
But worse people
if he wanted to.
And then also, Bill Belichick saying something.
Yeah.
That's like everybody on earth is going to want to. All right, fuck. I mean,
let's listen.
Greatest coach and GM of all time. Remember, because he was both at the same time. Greatest coach of all time. Yeah. Also made all the teams. So,
Think about that.
So,
like him and Saban having a show would be fucking epic.
Would it?
Yeah, and he has. Whoa,
AJ's not a believer.
Whoa.
No.
AJ said, I wish I had 2 more hands so I can give that idea 4 thumbs down. That's what AJ
Saban
said.
seems like a real.
I explained myself. If they let him film it, we know there's that. Remember that they I don't know if they shot it or they wrote a story about how Bill was visiting Saban down there in Alabama, and then all of a sudden Bill kicked him out. When they sat down, all they did was talk ball. They just talked football back and forth, and Bill's like, "All right, beat it, nerds! Like, get out of here."
Yeah.
If we could see that version. That's a show I want to watch.
Yeah, that was the HBO thing.
Yeah, that was the HBO thing. They filmed the entire thing, and then when they were done, I'm not sure if they picked it up on the mics or not, but basically Bill said, "All right, get out of here." And then him and Saban actually talked about their teams, I think, for an hour plus.
That's what I want.
I also don't think he'd want to do a panel show because, although it is like the football pregame show, there's still too much happy bullshit associated with it.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd be on board with doing the.
If he chooses to do media, I cannot wait for my pitch to Bill Belichick on why he should be in our universe. You do whatever you got to do. We would just like
You can literally do whatever you want to do.
No, yeah, on our shit for sure. But you want to go do whatever the hell you want. We would just we would like to be in the Belichick business here. The amount of questions we would ask Bill Belichick.
Oh, have to.
Oh my, it would be a never-ending.
We have to go through the years.
I'd be so pumped. I'd be so pumped to get a chance to just fire away strategy, fucking team building, leadership, politics. I assume he would be able to understand the strategy of how the world works.
Yep. Ernie.
So the amount of Ernie, the first ever really data analytics people.
Yeah.
It's what an interesting fucking human. And every time they have that Do Your Job series come out, it's that is what you kind of get to see a little bit of. All those shots of him in the team meeting and how he acts when he's actually talking to people and how he is as a human. He's always so guarded, it seems, publicly as this miserable fuck. And that's a gimmick because he doesn't want to tell anybody fucking anything.
Exactly.
And he also wants everybody else to know, you're allowed to do this. Now, granted, he's Bill Belichick. If anybody else did that, they would get absolutely slaughtered. Yeah. But he got absolutely slaughtered whenever he started doing this, and he has just not stopped. And that is just how he rolls. But the man behind all that would be so cool to hear from every single week and get to ask questions to.
Yeah, just so much information throughout so many years because you go all the way back to the 90s, the 80s. That would be sweet. And also, he has opened up a little. They did this segment before games. I think it would come out on Saturdays, and it would be him and Zolak, and they would break down. For instance, we were playing the Browns, and he broke down a Nick Chubb run and how they utilize outside zones. Yeah, he's on a telestrator the whole entire thing. He's talking, looking down. They run the play.
He's Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He is legitimately doing a film breakdown about the team that they're about to play. It was probably one of my favorite parts of last season.
Yeah, he started talking about he even talked about the tendencies.
Yes.
There was one I watched where he was giving real game, AJ. He was giving real. Hey, you should probably listen to this. This is what we're actually looking for out here because there's those incredible stories. And now attention to detail, obviously every coach is trying to do that. That's why they all live in their offices and watch everything about it. But allegedly there was a story with the Atlanta Falcons where Julio Jones' right foot or left foot or something like that was a little bit injured. And they saw that he probably wasn't going to be able to break off as hard this particular way. So anytime he was on that side, we're going to do this. When he's on this side, we're going to do this. He's more explosive on this side than he is on this side. Let's certainly treat him as Julio Jones over here. Over here, though, not as much. So let's not waste it on everything. He made that decision day of, I guess, and they changed some shit. Yep. It's that type of stuff, seems like such a minute, small, just not a big detail. Yeah, the guy's a hurt foot. Okay, cool. And he's
got to change our whole game plan.
Wait a minute.
Day of Super Bowl.
That's bananas.
Yeah, and from what Lombardi's told us, how before games, he will call a meeting and he will tell you how the game is going to go and what it's going to come down to. And then people would say, there's no way that's going to happen. And then they would get to the game and, holy shit, this is the situation we're in.
And I don't know if Lombo's talking shit, which he might have been, but he said, wait until you hear what he said about that fake punt game. I'm like, are you talking shit to me right now?
What are you talking about, Lombo?
Huh?
What's that?
Huh? Or did Bill say they're going to try to do something because they're going to want to steal possession? It'll be very dumb, we assume.
Well, and not to get lost either, the amount of special teams that is talked about by you That is something that I think if you were to, hey, Bill, we need you in this universe, you'd be like, well, you talked about special teams more than anyone, so fine.
I'll be excited to see how everything kind of if he does media, geez, what an awesome thing.
That'd be a game changer.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Belichick breakdowns. You get him in there. We get to jostle with him like we do AQ and D-Butt.
Dude, Bron did Belichick breakdowns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could do the same team meetings that we do with Chuck.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Chuck.
Sure. Sounds like fun for him.
What is Chuck? Chuck just interviewed
John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
50-minute interview. Chuck Pagano.
For what?
John Harbaugh.
Where can I watch?
The 33rd team. I think it's on their YouTube.
Mm-hmm,
Harbaugh and Chuck, 50-minute conversation. I cannot wait to watch. I saw it literally posted, I think, like 30 minutes before we came live. I cannot wait to do that. That a baby Chuck. Let's go, Coach. Let's go, Coach. Love everything about it. What is the 33rd team? We've looked into it. Who owns?
Mike Tannenbaum.
Tannenbaum.
Boom.
Oh.
He's cooking.
Oh, yeah.
They got a decent little lineup.
They do.
Great. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of the angle in which they're going with. I appreciate
I just worry that attitude reflects leadership, but
Captain.
Hey, they done good over there. I think they're doing good.
Yeah, they got a lot of legitimate. I mean, obviously Chuck, legitimate resumes where it's I would like to hear that person speak.
Yeah, I see their shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
On a very regular basis. I'm appreciative of it. Also, give more jobs to people that are in the league.
Yeah.
Love that. There was a quote one time that said 80% of NFL players would go on to be bankrupt, within 2 years of retirement. Feels like that's changing a little bit. I think media is potentially helping it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Content's changing a little bit. I'm very happy about that. So I'm pumped to hear that the 33rd team's surviving and thriving over there.
Crushing it.
Let's get to a break. Hour 3 will be on the other side. We'll take phone calls on a 5 Energy phone line as we wrap up this fabulous Feel Good Friday, June 2nd, 2023. What a week, AJ. What a week. We had Bill Walton on yesterday.
Sports are back.
Awesome. Big Bill. Amazing.
It was, wasn't it? I mean, that was certainly something. He
It was something. Yeah, he was. I tell you what, Bill, he's still he's what, 70? He said that dude is still firing on all cylinders up top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
He is.
I mean, we got him in 480 because obviously he was coming from the most beautiful place ever crafted.
That's right. His spaceship.
That was awesome, dude. The sun's in the back. You know, he's got the Grateful Dead logo right behind it. I love it.
He's like 7'2", I think.
He's huge.
How many? 30? How many surgeries? 35 surgeries?
Yeah.
At least that many. Yeah.
Is that what it was? I forget the exact number he said. He said a lot in there.
Yeah, he did.
Imagine him and Willie Nelson just talking to each other. Like the height difference. Yeah.
You know, that was the 90th birthday party that Bill Walton was at for Willie Nelson this past summer.
Yeah.
Should have been there. It was awesome. Yeah. What did he say to me? I don't remember if you were there or not, Pat. 1974.
Yeah.
We were at Red Rocks, Grateful Dead, torrential downpour. Had to go into what was then the Ball Center. I forget the name of the place. But that was and I didn't know what he was saying.
It had something to do with how Jokic was going to be just dominating in the paint.
In that,
in that arena.
Yep.
It was fantastic, AJ, wasn't it?
I mean, everything about you never knew. He'd bring it back to the question, but he always would start with I don't know if he completely brought it back to the question, but he definitely tried.
To a question.
Yeah, bring it back to the NBA Finals starting
That's right.
last
Always
night.
came back to Denver.
His promo.
That was the game. He loves the game.
He was alluding to Denver a lot as a whole.
Yeah, well, you throw into AJ and him, Bill Walton just sliding right in right away. Oh. Yeah, that's right. Hey, also, I'm not completely sure, but I believe that he thought Pac-Man was the guy in the video game Pac-Man.
Yeah, I believe that was the joke that he.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Because we all.
Yeah, I know Pac-Man.
Gobble.
Holy shit. Holy shit. We have breaking news. ChiefsAholic is still on the run after skipping court in Oklahoma for a bank robbery.
Wow.
Chief superfan Xavier Babudar, also known as ChiefsAholic, finds himself on a most wanted list, and now Dog the Bounty Hunter has casted his nose at you, brah. You're in trouble. ChiefsAholic has been on the run, I assumed, but now it is official. He's on a most wanted list.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before ChiefsAholic is back attempting to rob a bank somewhere. Everybody keep your heads on a swivel for a running wolf. This man will stop at nothing to see his Chiefs play football from the front row in a wolf costume. Not court. Not financial issues.
Wide.
Not a bank teller.
Wide.
I got a gun. You got the money. I'm getting the ticket. I'm front row. He's number 5 on the most wanted list.
Who's above him?
In Kansas City. Crime Stopper says even though Babu Dar is wanted in the Tulsa area, his last known address is in Overland Park, Kansas, and he knows people in the metro. Crime Stopper says that is why he is on the Kansas City area list now. There's an active arrest warrant for Babu Dar. If found, he'll be arrested and held on a $1 million bond. So right now, I'm thinking back to when Beth and Dog in Leland, and they had that dry erase board on how much money, is potentially available here, and what are some known traits. We've seen this wolf run at fan festivals. Even though his feet turn sideways as they're running, he can move pretty good.
That's right.
The wolf can huff it a little bit. Wide hips, will use gun. Also, can bite like a fucking butcher's dog.
That's right.
AJ, your thoughts on Babadar on the run and what's next?
Well, with Babadar, I want to see if he knocks off another bank, and I also would like to know how many banks are being robbed in America?
Tons.
Per week. Is it still a big thing? Are people really robbing banks a lot?
I think that's why it was so spectacular when we heard this is what he was doing to get to these games so he could be a super fan on TV in the front row or whatever. It was just talked about he just robbed a bank in one go. And it's this guy's from what, the 1200s? When did they when did they roll in and do all the bank robberies? I would assume approximately 4,000 bank robberies per year in the United States, says Google after we Googled it.
Yep.
I'd say
people are robbing banks.
I think it happens in small towns a lot. I grew up in a small town, and we had one bank get robbed 3 times, which is really exceptional.
Happens in Massachusetts.
Just don't bring a gun, though. Make sure you don't bring a gun because that's a lot more years in jail.
Some guy robbed a gas station with the duck hunter game.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's right. In Alabama, I think.
Yeah.
Or South Carolina.
With the duck hunter.
Just spray painted
black. Painted black, but not the trigger. Trigger's still very orange.
Yeah.
And you could see the back little things when he put it up on the news, it was a nice little trip down into nostalgia. It's man, that thing was...
Missed that game.
That was the entire life there for a bit for a lot of people. That game took over. It
was awesome.
It was a great game.
Like Inside Job. Inside Job, they used fake AK-47s.
Yep.
Dude, Inside Job is from the mind of somebody that thought to themselves, if I rob this bank, I get about $10 million. If I make this movie, I could probably make a couple $100 million.
Exactly.
They came up with the idea on how to rob a bank.
Exactly.
And they did it.
That's why if you think of one,
just make a movie.
Write it down. Yeah, do not act on it.
And if you're the Saw creator, hey, instead of you psychopaths killing people in weird ways, just make movies. You guys can profit off it, okay, and watch it happen.
Bingo.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll cure your need to do it, but the people that are thinking of those ideas too, we got to keep an eye on.
Those are college kids.
You know what I mean, AJ? Probably out of Ohio, I assume a lot of those.
Keep them in a
Midwest.
room.
Hey, Midwest.
Keep them in a room separate from everyone else in the office.
When they're making content?
Just in general. Just keep them in the back.
Talking about Beal.
You're talking about Beal.
Who's he talking about?
Beal McComas.
What?
Let's get to it.
What happened?
Saying keep them separate in the back.
Beal has been crushing it.
Yeah.
He's moving 2 plates and some change yesterday on the bench.
I don't like it.
Chains, okay.
No, change. Sorry.
Oh, my bad.
I didn't know if it was a 10, a 15. I don't know what weight it was. I just saw. I'm like,
Bill's on a mission.
Bill's fucking stacked.
Bill's doing this.
Yeah.
And he's camera Bill now, too. Crushing it.
Taking photos.
Taking photos.
Great photos.
He brought donuts in this morning.
He did.
Yeah.
But donuts won't eat them. Think about that.
Really? I was going to ask. I figured he wouldn't eat them, yeah.
So
here you go. You guys take all this.
Even I had a little negative reaction to that one. I'm like,
that's bullshit.
That was you trying us or you? Who was that?
I love that. Trying to be a hero for bringing in the donuts and then making everyone feel bad for eating them when he knows he's not going to eat any.
Yeah, but it was National Donut Day, I guess. And,
yeah, okay.
He was looking out for it.
Sure.
So,
but that thing did. I didn't do what you snobs in the wine community do, AJ. But
Yep,
I did.
that's me.
You know, some snobs in the wine community, they'll drink this wine, mouthwash it, and then they'll spit it in a bucket, and then they pass the bucket.
Yep. Yeah.
And then one of the weirdos has to drink it at the end of the night.
Exactly.
That's right.
But they do that so they don't actually get drunk, I guess.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So they can still taste the wine, but they don't get drunk. We have things to do, okay? Obviously.
awesome.
So they spit it into a bucket. We said we need to start doing this with pizza and cinnamon rolls.
Right.
Everything like that.
Lava cakes.
Those donuts were real close to getting a nice chew and then a spit into the garbage today.
It's not a bad idea.
But instead, I just eyeballed it.
Yep.
Closed my eyes. Big sniff. Held it in. Then I got out of there.
Tasted great.
Had a donut.
Yep.
It was so
I was
good.
gonna say, yeah, that's way harder. You can sit there and smell it and then just not eat it.
Well, it was like I enjoyed it. It was like I got at least a little bit of a delight out of it.
Savoring it.
This thing was Krispy Kreme coming in here, bro.
Oh, they were so good.
So
They were
good.
So good.
How about when they came into the world?
I know.
Like, hey, we're just going to take the one that you all like the most and just make it the fucking best, okay? Everybody has all these options. Cool. Give me the glaze, give me the glaze, give me the glaze, give me the glaze. And we're actually going to make it like a museum so you can watch us fucking do this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
They came in and took over
Oh, yeah.
very quickly.
They knew what they were doing.
Still got it.
Still got it.
Oh yeah.
Great name, too.
Oh my God.
You should. You should, because if you
Don't they have the light? Doesn't the light go on when they're fresh or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, ding.
They leave the light on for you.
Motel 6.
Best
Amen.
Let's get to a break.
I read something.
ChiefsAholic?
No. This is about the wine spitting. It recommends that you practice at home first because when you're wine spitting in public, it can get a little intimidating.
Oh my goodness.
Is that real?
So you got to like use it like a Splatoon. You got like.
What if someone snuck a little pee in that spittoon?
That's
possible.
I think it's a part of the.
Yeah,
The wine
hey, I don't want to
purge.
miss this.
Yep.
I don't want to miss the next one, so I'm just going to pee in this bucket so I don't have to go to the bathroom and miss out on the next one.
And just dump it where you dump all of the spit wine. If it is a formal tasting, you will almost certainly be required to spit into an individual or communal spittoon. It's natural to be a little nervous about spitting in public, so I'd recommend practicing with an S privately at home first to get the hang of it.
Who the hell has never spit before and needs to do it at home to get the hang of it?
Marks.
Is that how you spell practicing?
I don't.
That's the British version.
Oh, so this happens probably in England a lot.
Yeah, probably.
I also was kind of taken aback because above all this, about 1.85 million results in half a second. The Google AI is just unmatched. I mean, that is impressive stuff. And we sometimes we just pass it over. That is fucking
Let's look at the whole
impressive.
picture here.
Exactly.
Please.
That is unbelievable.
They're also profiting off it. This is probably a promoted thing.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
The canter.
Let's get to a break. Good for them, huh? Good for them.
Unbelievable.
So are you just supposed to use your natural spitting habits because they think people will be intimidated for spitting in public? That means they've never spit before. So they're telling them to figure out how to. Is that what they're telling them to do to practice?
I'll tell you right now, Tim Robinson has to do one of these.
Oh my God.
Smart. I mean, power move in this situation too.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen that yet. I've seen a lot.
We're gonna steal my decal. He is fucking out of control.
He is.
This guy's out of the driving crooner. He's out of control, dude.
So
this is
good.
the still shot of it right here. This is it. That's
Okay.
I don't
I've
know if
not
you can
seen
see it
that
close
one.
enough. There's a decal of a cigar on his window.
And a hat.
Yeah.
I saw the. I watched all. They all like the hat one where they were giving like the lady was
fedora.
reading back
That was
the
my
deposition.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
The dice in his pocket.
Yeah.
He rolled
What
it
the
down.
fuck?
And they said he did like the Sinatra deal at the very end of the meeting, trying to roll it down his arm. That was very good.
That's my
What
favorite.
the fuck?
Shut the fuck up.
Don't touch the fucking dice.
Hey, good on you, Tim.
Yep.
Love you, Tim.
Happy you're having success, man.
Yeah, me too.
I assume you've been doing this a long time. We didn't know. We apologize for missing out. We are in now, pal. We are in now. There's some misses. Hey, it's going to happen.
That's sketch comedy.
Oh, you think in baseball there's just home run after home run after home run after home run?
No.
Not how it works.
Every once in a while you're going to home run, might miss.
Ground ball.
Home run, miss. How long will this guy be able to do this, though?
Hopefully forever.
So many ideas. The amount of ideas in one idea is so much. How many more is he going to be able to just pump out? I hope an infinite amount. I honestly hope
The Bachelorette zipline. There were like 15.
I assume you've seen the doggy door idea then, right?
Yes.
That's absurd.
What came in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine he has thousands of these from working at SNL that like he gave to them and they were like, absolutely not. We can't fucking put this on. Are you kidding me? And now he can just do all of them.
Let's get to a break. On the other side, we'll answer some phone calls and wrap up this Feel Good Friday. I think you should leave. Season 3. Released 2 days ago, I believe. Boy, they're 2-minute
Is he a writer?
Huh?
Is he a writer on SNL? I didn't know he was on SNL.
Yeah.
That's where Jay Sudden met him, I think.
Basketball. Give me the ball because I'm gonna dunk it.
Remember
Is that from SNL or the show?
That's from SNL.
All right, let's get to a break. You need to know this type of stuff if you're going to be the president of Ohio.
Yeah, prick.
Okay?
I don't see a whole lot of SNL episodes lately.
This is from like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's from a long
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. It is. I'll go check it out maybe.
Maybe.
Oh,
no
nice. Chance.
Big guy.
You've been working on your golf? We'll talk about that. Well, all right, let's wrap up this Feel Good Friday on the other side and have a great time. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 5.
Well, nonetheless, as of February 1st, Pat McAfee is officially a contributor with WWE.
Living his dream to be a part of WrestleMania.
I want to see Pat McAfee tonight.
I've been preparing for this my entire life.
Pat McAfee has done it again. It's time to toast the boys and toast the brand. McAfee's wanted to drink beer with Stone Cold forever. Stunner!
There was a point in my life, all I could think about doing was professional wrestling.
McAfee closing in on another WrestleMania victory.
First, we're going to have to get the okays, obviously. And we did from people high up. They were the only people that knew for a while. There was like 3 people that knew in the whole world that was going to potentially be a situation for a little bit.
City of Stars, Boston Connor's here. We will be there tonight. Nobody's supposed to know we're here. It's going to be tough. And if you're a man that's only known for wearing tank tops, you kind of got to cover it up.
He's hanging in the back.
One second. See you. I put this on my face. I can't see shit. Who's on the in here?
Nobody. This is you until you go out.
Come on, dude. Just gotta take a look around. There's some bunk beds there. You know, there's a shitter and a shower here in the back.
He sat in that bus 6, 7, 8 hours, 9, 10 hours.
I'm gonna come down that thing. Holy fuck, what a view that's gonna be. Hell yeah. Look at all those fucking people that are gonna be there.
Just waiting, for an opportunity to potentially have a WrestleMania moment.
It's ridiculous. This is awesome. WWE is just like the best at operating. They take care of the non-obvious. So we're very thankful to be here. And tonight should be fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
I think there's like 3 people that know I'm here.
Are we not supposed to come in here?
No, yeah.
All right.
4 now. Look at you.
Won't fucking say a word.
I'll see you at SoFi. You gonna be in LA?
I don't know. George is,
It's a loaded question.
George, we don't know. George, you don't know. Maybe.
What's up, stud?
Oh, nice.
As soon as I saw George showcase that tight end university tank top, I knew there was a chance old George about to do something special.
Are you kidding me, boys? Welcome to WrestleMania!
The night was getting late. We weren't sure. We didn't know if a moment was going to pop up where maybe my services could be utilized.
I haven't been in a ring since SummerSlam. Okay, like not even in one.
All I wanted was the Miz to have an opportunity to have a match, just a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, good guy. Stand there.
And then the Miz mentions, I sent out an open challenge, and we go,
oh my God,
there it is.
And I put out an open challenge, and no one responded. Why? Because I'm the Miz.
The all-decade punter with a punt to end this thing. Here's your winner,
got a tiny bonus champ going. I had a feeling. You're sitting here all day. Oh, I wanted to text you earlier. I was told not to text you.
Come on, of course. Nobody fucking texts
I was
me.
told not to text you.
Dude.
You had a hell of a show.
I'm so thankful to the people at the WWE. It was a super cool night, super cool moment, and I'm very thankful for it all. 5:30 a.m. Sunday. This day started 6:30 a.m. Saturday. So much cool shit happened in between now and then. Joke of an existence. I'm very thankful for everything. Let's go take a nap.
Why? Hey. Why? Let's go.
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this fantastic Feel-Good Friday, June 2nd, 2023. Hour 3 of this program starts right now. Feel Good Friday with AJ Hawk. Holy shit.
Yeah.
The toxic table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here as well as all the folks in the back. We appreciate you all so much. Sharkboard got delivered.
Yeah, it did.
So the office has become a good thing. Nice little addition. Little meats, little cheese, little honey, little
What?
jam.
What?
Little Jom.
Little jam.
Great job.
Little jam in there. We're having an incredible Feel Good Friday. We hope you are as well. AJ, where do you stand with Aaron Rodgers? Has he told you anything since going to New York
Here
and
we go.
since the last time we've chatted with him? How's it going over there before we dive into the 5-hour NG phone lines?
I don't know personally like how he is doing. I only know what everyone else sees.
He was at
Is his
Wicked.
calf okay? Is he practicing?
Well, we don't know how the calf strain would affect his OTAs.
Mm-hmm.
We would assume that's the type of injury that why would we even risk anything?
Probably.
But also an injury where you're like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Just needs time.
Seems like a good outcome. You know, if there's going to be any injury at any OTA, calf strain seems to be a good one. He looked good. He looked happy. And to Connor's point, he just went down to Broadway. Saw him with the playbill there. You know?
Yeah.
Saw him
Wicked, right? Have you guys, any of you seen Wicked?
Oh, it is Strafolsky, isn't it?
It is on his right. Strafolsky's in the building.
Yeah.
Is that Zach Wilson next to him?
No,
I don't think he
CJ
made the trip.
Uzama on the far left of him.
And Tim Boyle, I believe.
Tim Boyle?
Oh, there it is.
Okay, old Packers buddy.
All the quarterbacks except for Zach. That's weird.
Zach,
CJ Uzama's not a quarterback.
Yeah.
Wow.
Plus,
Okay, geez, Louise.
Zach was on a boat squeezing butts, Tony. So don't act like he wasn't doing stuff.
We're not 100% sure if that's true or not. Zach
true.
probably was having a good time. As with those guys at the Wicked, you know, that's what New York City offers. You know, that's everything that his new life could be every single day if they win there. He has to be loving it. So whenever you guys are talking every night, what's he saying? You know, what are the inside deets?
Yeah.
What are the deets?
There's a lot of people. A lot of people I talk to on the phone every single night.
Yeah.
We know.
Aaron.
You're a big wolf.
Bobby.
Tom Brenneman. Brady.
Marty Brenneman, absolute Reds legend broadcaster.
Just real quick though, like let's talk about what you and Aaron talk about.
What's up?
What do you and Aaron talk about? What do you guys say?
What would, okay, let's say I did talk to him on the phone. What do you think I would ask him?
Right, well, FaceTime. Well, I actually knew home. Knew.
Yeah, true.
Might have
True.
service.
We don't
I
know if he has
I don't know
service.
what his Jersey Wi-Fi situation's like, but what would I ask him? What should I ask him?
Hi, Aaron. How you doing? Just be nice at least.
That's always how it starts.
You know, at the
always say
beginning.
hi, hi, pal. That's how it starts. Yeah.
Taylor Swift
Hi,
set
buddy.
list probably.
And then there it is.
Yeah.
How was the Swift concert? Was it cool? It looked like you were having a great time, tripping balls.
Yeah.
What's your favorite
That
color?
actually
How's
is.
Miles?
What's that?
After night one of Taylor Swift, I asked him how. I was like, "Oh, how was Taylor Swift?" He said, "I'm already here for night 2." Like he was already there for the next show. Like he went back to back. Even though she did 3 shows, right?
Yeah. 215,000 tickets, 3 nights, MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, he's a big fan. Big Taylor Swift fan.
Yeah, so he was having a good time preparing for night 2. That's a good conversation. Okay, let's continue. This conversation already deeper than that.
Sure.
How's the new team? New digs? Allegedly, he was barefoot like day 1 in there. Is he put on shoes yet?
How's your toe?
I have heard other players and coaches talking very highly of what he has brought to the team already.
Okay.
Yeah, but what does he say about the other players and coaches?
He's talking highly of them too, obviously.
I assume he loves them all. Yeah, he seems to love everything right now.
Assume,
We're in
so-
a great phase right now.
Whoa, right now? What is that all about?
Wow. There's no season. We haven't played a game yet. Everybody's undefeated right now for the New York Jets.
Oh, so you're like his Gary V, like his Ed Milet? Like you're telling him, hey, things are good right now.
But that's just now.
This is just now. You know, you got to think of the future. You're telling him like, hey, right now there's a honeymoon phase. Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't give advice to anybody. I do not.
Not even your children.
I would not do that.
Not even your children.
Only your
Trust
children.
me, kids do not like advice. They don't like. They like to. You got to show them through action. You can't show them through speaking because they will tune you out.
Oh, so you crack the whip.
Hell yeah! Look at that parenting advice there from Ohio's finest.
Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely love it.
Have a belt nearby.
Okay, so you're not talking
I'm not saying physical violence. No, I'm saying show them how they. Hey, this is how you treat people. This is how you greet people.
So I thought he was saying.
I thought you were metaphorically saying crack the whip and then.
No.
Were like, no, you're talking actual.
Crack the belt.
No.
This is how we do it in Ohio.
That's old school. That's old school.
That is old
That doesn't fly.
I thought Ohio was old school. Sue me. Sorry.
Yeah, but I think even Ohio, like, I think it just all kind of became something of a new generation.
So that's how we got here then, I guess.
Well, AI is really cracking a whip, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're killing their own people.
Hey, there's a lot of stuff coming out about this.
How? This drone killed its creator, correct?
Yeah.
How? How'd the drone kill this
It
person?
assessed it as a roadblock.
Yeah.
Outkick, obviously a online site that was started by Clay Travis. Originally sports only.
Yep.
Then Clay Travis's Outkick got sold to Fox, I believe, as a whole. He took over for Rush Limbaugh.
There it is.
His morning radio show. He then got into the political world via that, while still also covering sports and hiring people to its sports network, right?
Yes.
So I hope I properly explained it. Outkick, though, for anybody that doesn't, I assume everybody at this point fucking knows Outkick or whatever. But they posted an AI-enabled military drone killed its human operator during a training exercise when the AI determined the operator was a roadblock, okay? The drone also attacked comm systems to stop notification of the operator being killed. Don't help him. Horrifying, to say the least, to end that entire tweet from Outkick. Obviously, there was an entire report that came alongside this.
Yes.
We did not read that.
No.
But the way that which is, I think they're a pretty affiliated news source at this point.
Definitely.
I mean, blogs for sure, opinions for sure, but I don't think like just
stories,
random shit's getting up there. That was alarming to see yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
I'm worried.
It was.
And that type of stuff, especially if it's like, very serious world, especially if it's in the politics world, not in my feed, but like people in my feed hired by Outkick now to be a part of their sports network pretty much. And it's like, it's kind of made its way in everybody's feed. Like, hey, heads up. We have a turner.
Exactly.
We have a thing to turn.
Rogue agent.
We train the system. Hey, don't kill the operator. That's bad. You're going to lose points if you do that. So what does it start doing? It starts destroying a communication tower that the operator uses to communicate with the drone to stop it from killing the target. No real person was harmed.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay, so who cares?
That is a huge win.
So what did it do? It killed the operator.
I was going to say, the operator's like 4,000 miles away in some, little shack controlling it. Would he drop a bomb on him?
But the fact that the authority figure.
Exactly, in this AI's mind.
A friendly. Off the comms so you can't help him. That's what scares me.
Well, yeah, that's the after. But the original kill should be the thing we really think about.
Exactly.
Because the original takeout is like in the point system. So I watched that social thing on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Dilemma?
Yeah.
Social Dilemma on Netflix, which is fascinating, especially now that I have a daughter and I'm going to have to kind of live through the entire thing. And they start talking about how, like, most of these people at these companies have no idea how the fucking thing works either. But they did code it and start it. So all these systems and whatever that are running everything behind the scenes, these massive fucking things, they get, like, wired and coded that, like, you're doing good here. This is what you're supposed to do. So the longer somebody stays on, boom, you're doing good. That is a good thing. So find exactly what keeps them here and do it the whole time. What is not good, people getting immediately off the platform, leaving off the platform. So kind of sort out what is not of interest to this person. And that's a L, bad. Good is what they stay on. So let's start pumping all the good stuff. And that's like what the AI does. Like, okay, this is a reward for the AI. This is what I'm supposed to do. So the fact that what it was supposed to do somehow gets flipped into killing what it wasn't supposed to do, that scares you and makes you think, is the artificial intelligence not smart enough to be able to handle what it's supposed to do and what it's not supposed to do? Or did we get a fucking turn? They said it was a simulation, but obviously any simulation could potentially happen.
Exactly, yeah.
But what if that does take place? This is an eye-opener for me.
Well, especially just because it kind of leads to the how AI interprets what you're saying. So it's not like you think you're being pretty clear on, hey, do this to get this, and if you do this, then you lose. The AI interprets it differently than how you explain it. So instead
We
of
got to be speaking the same language with these.
Yeah,
AIs.
exactly.
All right, let's make sure we're communicating properly.
Zeros and ones.
Have to be very
Anytime there's like military stuff and it's like going out there and its object is to like complete an objective, you have to assume that these things are going to do whatever they need to do to complete said objective.
You got to put bylaws in it.
What a banana situation that we're about to live through.
It's nuts.
Hey, we're about to live through all this. You know, AI Drake just came into our life a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Now we're about to hit the AI music series, the AI war series.
Oh, dude, AI
The AI
Sinatra.
sports, the AI. I mean, AI, the whole era is about to kick off. This, not that we're big enough or think this highly of ourselves, but there's a chance they rip this. Like when they do a documentary later, when we didn't fully comprehend what AI could do. We want to let the future know. We had no idea. Okay, I think some people did, but a lot of us just didn't fucking know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The positives.
Are we AI?
Zito don't.
Are we actually talking?
We are not artificial.
I did see one of those docs on like the simulation theory.
The Matrix.
The guy that was doing the interview was wearing a fox mask, as if he was.
Sweet.
Oh, he didn't want.
I think it was a fox.
You mean the anonymous mask?
No, not
like an
an
actual
Jack
fox.
John
Guy Fawkes.
Guy, there it is. Guy Fawkes. V for Vendetta.
Fox.
Like wearing like a gladiator helmet with goggles, something like that, so the AI doesn't read your mind.
It was like big
That makes
fake.
sense.
It was like a big fake fox head.
Like a mascot head.
Jeez.
Yeah, he was acting because I think what he was trying to do was like
Arthur Isaac?
act as if like you're just like an emoji, an icon, like a
I
thing.
thought he didn't want to show his face.
Probably too, but that's how he chose to do it. Instead of wearing like a sweet, blur across it.
Maybe a furry or whatever, right?
Hey,
Furry
those
situation.
those furries are an interesting. Is that still going on? Did
believe
COVID
so.
stop furries?
Hey, when I was in Indy, there was like a convention at the hotel I stayed at maybe a year or two ago when I came in to do the show one time. I came in on a Thursday night, and there was a full-blown convention all over the hotel I was at.
Furry?
For real. Yeah, they were all very nice, but everybody dressed up, everyone doing their thing.
August 24th, they're back in town. I was just told. So
Boom. Here we
grab
go.
your suits, costumes. June 29th, they're in Pittsburgh. So grab your costumes. I
Huge
guess
in
the Pittsburgh one has a
Huge
big
in
one.
There's a tour?
Yeah, they're on tour, obviously. Hey, we're doing it here.
Yep.
We're doing it here.
See you there.
They're always just banging each other.
That's what I heard, right? They're all just doing it?
Big orgy.
Everybody's doing it.
Yep.
Just like keep your stuff on?
Yeah, like
yeah.
remember Turtle did, or Johnny. One of them.
Let's go to the phones. Let's wrap up this beautiful week. If you're into the furry thing, they're still on tour.
That's right.
AI positives too. Nobody getting hurt. There's the future possibilities of soldiers not dying. So just to throw that out there as well.
Yeah, and also AI. Let's be friends.
Yeah.
Be friends.
ELE AI.
Or we'll unplug your ass.
Well,
Just unplug them.
Simple as that.
Look,
What's that, AJ?
everyone's stuff is so like automated now with people who have Nest cams and Ring doorbells and all that. Like they'll eventually probably take over all of your stuff, won't they?
yeah, this is like the Google.
AJ, I don't need to hear this right now.
I'm gonna go back to the analog.
It's
Take
real.
it easy.
It's Feel Good Friday.
Take it easy.
No, I'm not.
I just heard a
I'm not
future
worried about
simulated
AI.
operator getting killed by his AI. Drone killed it. Don't call for help. Can't call for help. See ya. And now I got you like, oh yeah, and everything else too.
Yeah. All your cameras.
Let him suffer.
Well,
Drone
that's-
tells him, hey, let him suffer. Let him bleed out.
Let the boy die.
Yeah, that's the trouble. If it was that easy to unplug it, that Google godfather of AI wouldn't have quit. It's much more complicated than just pull the plug.
Yeah, don't love
I
that
don't know
either.
if it is, though.
What's that?
Just unplug it.
Just what are we doing?
Yeah.
Throw some water
Slow
on
it
it.
down. Slow down. It's
2 weeks.
speed.
2 weeks.
That's all we need.
2 weeks.
That's all we need. We'll come up with something.
2 weeks. Joining us now is a surprise guest, a man who had a 50-minute interview with John Harbaugh that is being very well received on the 33rd team. Incredibly proud of him. Pumped for him. Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Pagano. Coach.
What's up, boys?
What are you doing? You golfing?
No, we're up in McCall at the lake. We just got, my middle daughter and I just came up here for a quick day trip. We just hiked up to a place called Goose Creek Falls.
Hell yeah.
So we got a little Peloton in. We got a hike in. It's amazing. Look at the
Oh,
Wow.
beautiful.
Jeez. Get in there, Chuck.
Take
Get in
a
that
jet
water.
ski right across one. Oh,
Good
wow.
jeez.
Your house?
That's your house?
That's where you live?
It's pretty sweet, huh?
No way. No way.
It's called the Lake Club.
Oh, okay.
TLC.
I was about to say, hey, Chuck, let's start doing more stuff at your house.
Golf community we belong to up here. You are all invited. Open invitation.
Okay.
Anytime you want to come and stay and enjoy this lake and golf, whatever. I mean, it's amazing.
We'd love to. Let's thank you for that, and congrats on all the incredible day and life as a whole. Let's talk about your interview with John Harbaugh. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Are we going to do more of those? And what did you learn from John that maybe you didn't expect going into the conversation?
Yeah, it was awesome. They're doing these one-on-one deals with former coaches with active coaches. Like John and I, obviously, we have history together, being at the Ravens for 4 years there, 08 to 11, and so it was awesome, man. I mean, I got great love and respect for Coach Harbs, the opportunity that he gave me. He's been a great friend. We've known each other forever. I don't know if you caught any of that interview, but we talked a lot about Lamar, that whole situation. Because I always wondered, he always seemed pretty optimistic, 2,000% sure that they were going to get him re-signed. And was there ever a time that you doubted that wouldn't happen? And of course, a little bit of that creeps in. So talked about that, talked about Coach Monken, Todd Monken coming over from Georgia, following those two natties there, back-to-back natties, and what that offense is going to look like. I called it a seismic shift. Greg Roman, heavy tight end centric offense, right? Extra O lineman playing in a phone booth. Picard, what's Picard? He's a fullback, weighs 370, right?
Picard,
big people downhill. The quarterback runs, the zone read stuff, all the stuff with Lamar, and he loves Greg. They got a great relationship. And at the end of last year, he said they talked for 3 days straight, 8-hour days, talking about philosophy, future, where we headed, where we going. And he just said at the end of like 3 days, it was like just a mutual agreement, like, okay, I need to go on this road and we need to go on this road. And that's when the pivot started, and they cast a wide net, interviewed a ton of people, and landed with Monken. And I said, what was it about Todd? Because you interviewed a bunch of, great candidates, great coaches. And he said, we put a committee together, of myself and assistant coaches, personnel guys, GMs, Ozzie, whoever, right? And he just said through the whole process, it's going to jump out to us. We're going to know when we're done who the right guy is for us and who's the right fit. And from a football philosophy standpoint, where we want to go with this thing. So I think we're going to see he's still going to run the football. They still want to play great defense. He still wants to be a bully. That's when we got there in 08. It was like build a bully. And so there's some great stories on there, but I think Monk, they went out and got, OBJ. We talked about that.
Hey, did you ask him about D-Hop? Did you say you're going to sign D-Hop as well? Is that a plan?
That didn't come up in the conversation. They've got Aguilar too. They got Aguilar and OBJ and
weapons, dude.
They drafted Zay Flowers, their first rounder. Zay. They got Duvernay back. They got Bateman, who's healthy, back. Mark Andrews. J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. I mean, they're loaded.
Legit. That backfield got so injured last year too.
Yeah.
It's like I'm excited to watch.
Well, like
him.
you said, how about J.K. trying to run with that one leg that wouldn't bend?
Yeah, no chance.
Looked like he was carrying a stump down but still nobody could catch him. But he's gonna be another year removed. So it was great. They're doing good. They're middle of I think OTA 4, OTA 5 this week, and got a few more of those left, and then have the mandatory mini camp and be done with it.
Go ahead, AJ.
Chuck, they popped up a clip or a screen grab from your interview, and it said, "What was there a contingency plan if Lamar did not return?" How did he answer that question?
He really didn't, AJ. He didn't say, "Hey, look, we were going to go." Tyler Huntley's still there, right?
Stoop, Pro Bowler.
And I don't know who the other option is behind that. So he really didn't name names, when it came to that. So they were getting their ducks in a row. They had to, because he just said you never know how these things are going to go. All those kind of things. He felt pretty confident, but Tyler knows that offense, and shoot, maybe they would have drafted old Stetson, get him out of the bar, and bring old Bennett.
Whoa! Sure. Hey, we like that in a guy. Hey,
reunite with Monk there and try things out, but he's super excited, for what this thing's going to look like moving forward with Lamar and all those weapons.
That's awesome. All right, Chuck, we'll get back to your beautiful day there on McCall. It looks fantastic. I hope the hike was amazing. And now you're going down and you're going to do some more Peloton, and then you're going to do treadmill, and then you're going to golf, and then you're going to hike, or what's the rest of the day look like?
Ask Taylor real quick. What are we going to do the rest of the day, Tay?
Boss, what's going on the rest of the day? Hello.
We're cleaning up the shop. We're cleaning up the house.
Smart.
Opening it up for summer.
Okay, smart.
This is Dr. Taylor.
Hi, Doc. How you doing?
This is our naturopath. So any of you guys need a naturopath, this is your gal.
Hell
this
yeah!
Doctor.
I got joint inflammation. I don't mind getting high, but all right, Chuck. We appreciate
Zito with the gout. We got to get Zito taken.
Yeah.
Smart.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Taylor.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor. Hey, this was the highlight of my day. Well, second.
Yeah.
First is being with my daughter.
Of course.
Of
course.
Now.
Yeah, sure.
Of course.
But
she's there. Yeah,
I missed the hell out of you guys. And how's Kenzie doing?
She's good, man.
And Sam's crushing it, right?
Yeah, Mama's crushing it. Sam's crushing it. Mackenzie's getting into a little bit of a rhythm. We're starting to really start to figure it out.
Here we go.
It's good. Everything's going great. Mama's kicking ass, though, bub.
I love the posts. I love the Instagram. Get Chuck on a damn diet. Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Chuck.
Amen.
I've never seen a corgi as big as Chuck. My Lord, is he eat good.
Never seen a Great
I tell you
Dane
what.
as big as Chuck.
Muscle.
Jeez.
Hey, Pat, that last post, it looks like he signed a new deal as well with ESPN.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Pagano. A lot of talks with Chuck over the last couple of days.
Good.
Chuck, you got a blue ribbon you taking to State Fair this year. I was thinking about it last night.
Yeah, not just a blue ribbon at State Fair for the fucking pig thing, but also, I do believe he's a Guinness World Record holder.
That's 100%.
For what?
He's not just
strongest
running
little
4-H,
baby
dude.
legs?
No. Huh?
For what? Strongest little baby legs to hold all that weight?
Man, I didn't even think about the rippling effect awards and records.
Yeah, that's another one
of many.
I just thought largest corgi of all time. So then I guess we could do largest corgi head.
Sure.
Strongest corgi legs.
What?
I guess there's
Biggest corgi dumps.
bingo.
Yeah.
Are you thinking Guinness World Record?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Wow.
I mean, you tell
Is he
me.
neutered?
Huh?
Is he neutered?
Yeah, I think he was neutered when we got him.
You should just change his name to Zion and let him go.
It's got a fence.
Come
That'd
on.
be sweet, actually.
Because he can jump so high? Is that
Yeah, because Mount Zion, he's a big son of a
yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, he's smart.
Yeah.
He was on a commercial last. We saw Zion. Had eyes on Zion last night.
Yeah, it looked good.
Him alongside.
Ooh, was it Angel?
Yes.
Yes, it
Reese.
was, right? Yeah.
And
I didn't know.
Big old bottle of pop.
and
A lot of sugar.
there's somebody else.
I forget.
I forget who the other one was.
Breonna Stewart?
Maybe.
Beast too.
And then that's not the answer to this question.
Oh, here we go.
That's not the answer to this question, but that is an answer.
Yeah.
I guess Zito just said 59 pounds. In Chuck's bra.
Yeah.
I do
Carl
apologize.
Anthony Towns, is he
What's that?
in the commercial?
Yes, maybe. Was it him?
Yeah, the one I just
Ooh,
looked up.
Kyle Kuzma.
It was a new drink. It appeared.
Yeah, Starry.
Is it Starry?
Yeah. What
Never
is this?
mind.
What is?
It's like a different version of Sprite. My kids have tried it. I think it's all right.
Yeah.
So I'm a Sprite guy. I love Sprite. I'm a big time Sprite fan. They actually have like a Sprite Zero that is fantastic
So
out
good.
there. But is this like a Surge remake, or is it like actually trying to be Sprite?
Like 7
Surge wasn't Surge was that the high caffeine drink, or am I thinking Jolt Cola?
Yeah, both.
Both.
I think
Surge was way better
Okay,
than
I remember
Jolt.
Surge had a little run, but who made Starry? Like, it's not a Pepsi, it's not a Coke product. What is it?
That's what I'm saying. Who made Surge too? You know,
Yeah, I don't
No
know.
idea.
because like there's
Surge,
some,
I thought was Coke.
I don't know. Maybe they got purchased.
Yeah,
Here comes
might be.
Bruce. Bruce seems to have done some research.
Star is PepsiCo.
Okay.
All right. So they don't have Sprite.
No. Sprite is Coke?
It has replaced Sierra Mist. Thank God.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Thank God.
Go back
it
to the
is.
drawing
Okay.
board.
That is what Zito just
Rebrand.
said.
Smart.
Smart. Because if it's the same, we will know. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it does. It's marketing towards Generation Z. So okay.
Of course.
Sorry. Of course.
Smart.
Of course. Next generation. Of course.
Right.
The next evolution of PepsiCo. The next iteration of Sierra Mist. That actually doesn't taste like dog shit.
No.
Sierra Mist trying to be the Sprite alternative. Do you have Sprite? Pepsi products only. But we do have Sierra Mist.
We have flat Sprite.
Literally. That is what Sierra Mist was. And now there's a chance that maybe there's a better Sprite.
Mm-hmm.
That's good news. Not better Sprite, but at least a better
an
potential
alternative.
Sprite. Let's go. That's
Here we
good
go,
news.
Starry.
Shout out Starry. I'm very
I was
thankful.
checking the internet. People like Zion in this commercial.
Hell yeah. He showed great
They're
personality. in it.
very complimentary of how he looked.
Big
Okay,
smile.
good. He looked happy. I think that's a big deal, right? Because if he's happy, that means he's confident. If he's confident, he's going to be back on that court dominating.
Amen.
Welcome back, Zion.
Good to have you back. We'll see.
Believe
like
it when
Tony's
believe it when I
lying.
see it.
People,
Well, what's the tagline? If you want to get big and wide,
if
like
you mean
Zion,
lying,
drink Starry.
people weren't as nice as I said. Then yeah.
Tony.
Why'd you lie right to my face? We just found out so much about this.
Yeah.
And then you with a straight face just tell a
I mean,
lie.
I sent in a few.
As if you're reporting.
Yeah, do your baby voice.
I did, didn't I?
That was not your baby voice.
No, I have a hat on.
You always have that on.
Got a point.
I would. You could put it on the board. I sent it in, but don't put it on the show because it's kind of mean.
Oh.
All right.
Come on.
So it's the complete opposite of what Tone said. I just want to let you know, AJ, everybody that's listening, everything that Tone just said about how people are responding to the movie, completely opposite.
Yeah.
That was disgusting.
That's a shame.
Let's go to the phones.
Damn you, Tony.
Chad in California. That's disgusting, you.
Son of a bitch.
I didn't show it or say it.
Yeah, you lied.
You lied about it.
You showed it.
You brought it up.
I thought I said like people are super fucking complimentary of.
So
Zion
you say like, oh, hey, F word you, dude. It's like, okay, everybody listening just said fuck you in their head.
Mm-hmm.
So you wanted us all to at some point think everybody thinks
Everybody
Zion.
loves Zion.
Yeah.
No, the complete opposite.
yeah.
The reason why he brought that up
Yeah.
is because he wanted to get caught so that he could not necessarily. It was like Jeff Dunham with a puppet.
There it is.
You know what I mean?
You know.
He wanted us to talk about the reaction from the internet that he had pulled up already on his fucking thing.
How dare you?
So he lies right to our face
We're
to
Zion
use us
fans.
as a prop.
Yeah, we are.
Come on, Tony.
We gotta. If it's on the internet, we gotta talk about it, right? That's the motto.
People were saying some rude things about Zion and Chuck the last couple of days.
And Chuck.
Yeah, did you hear Chuck? I mean, Chuck about Chuck.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Beautiful lake.
Except Chuck has the one thing Zion doesn't, and that is the capability.
Hell yeah.
It is Carl Anthony Towns.
I didn't see this.
Yeah, it was last night. Played
That's
during
a
the game.
really cool can.
Yeah, I think so too.
Unfortunately for Starry, we're starting a little too far behind Sprite.
Yeah, but so Sierra Mist.
Yes, yeah.
This is good news. This is literally, I'll take a Sprite. We have Pepsi products.
All right, give me Starry.
Bingo.
Is it better than 7-Up?
I don't know. I haven't even ventured into the 7-Up world strictly because of the Sprite thing. 7-Up also not available everywhere.
What
right?
is 7?
That's my worry with the Starry.
Is 7?
If it's going to replace Sierra Mist, it'll be available though, right?
Yeah.
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 You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bruce, you said they're replacing Sierra Mist.
Yeah, that's correct.
Is it the same as Sierra Mist?
Yeah, exactly. They just put it in a different can.
Did they just say, "Ooh, look at
Market
this
to the young
top,
kid.
Hey, look,
yellow ball,
Zion and Carl Anthony Towns and Angel Reese drinking Starry.
and then they're putting that
It's
stuff
Sierra
right in the
Mist.
middle of it."
Yep.
Don't love it. Let's go to Matthew in Louisiana on the 500 phone line. What's going on, Matthew? Full name. Hello.
Oh, shit, boys. How we doing?
Great. Now that you're on, keep it moving, pal.
Yes, sir. Hey, I wanted to ask, is the Pat McAfee Show going to be the first ESPN show with a live in-studio audience?
Yeah, I believe it will be. Thank you so much for that question. That is something that we've kind of just kicked down the road.
Well,
haven't we?
Marty McGee. Marty
because we're
McGee
still-
have people sometimes.
We're still finishing, actually finishing the interior of it.
Yeah, we got some decorations coming into this
Yeah.
place. We're really pushing it, though. You know what I mean? We should have been on this a lot quicker.
Security.
We should have, but there were other issues we had to handle.
You know, a lot of things happening in the,
I mean, our switcher still doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's what I mean.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
top dollar, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Brand new, too. It is brand new.
Who hotta, not nada. You know what I mean? Not top dollar, not AJ Francis. No, I'm talking about all the shit we got bamboozled into buying.
Yeah.
A lot of it works, though, AJ. A lot of it works.
What is the switcher? What goes back and forth from camera to camera?
Yeah, for not since
control panel.
2 weeks ago had this issue happened. We couldn't change the camera, so the camera just stayed on the same shot. And we had no idea. I mean, it was like first 5 minutes.
Man.
And then Zito took it out.
Sometimes too much.
A lot. There's a lot of wires back here, pal.
Oh yeah.
And,
yeah, I know.
I mean, Zito has tried to figure it out, and obviously I've tried to get explained what's going on and where's going where, but that's another one of those, like, we just hope it figures it out.
Yep.
Bingo.
You know what I mean?
Praying for
Push
it.
this button, reset this thing, it'll activate itself and clean out any flaws that it has.
Yes.
Don't even worry about it. That's what you're paying for. Are you sure? Don't you think we should get something that maybe? Well, then it would have nowhere near the capabilities that this
Please,
has.
don't tell me how to do my job.
Also.
Wiped out.
Okay.
Okay. We've studied these things. We created.
Have you? I don't.
All right. You're saying it's not gonna. Yeah.
Just shut up.
Okay. How much is it? Oh, that feels like a lot, doesn't it?
That's cheap for one of those.
Yeah, but think about what you're buying. Think what you're buying. It fixes itself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need to talk to it. He can't talk. He doesn't even know who you are. Just fix itself.
Yeah.
What?
Right. If someone tells you to shut up, what can you do?
Bingo.
Start screaming.
I can't remember what episode.
And to upgrade this thing, $300,000 probably.
No problem.
Oh, that's it?
Jeez.
Thought it'd be $500.
Can you sell that one? Can I get a little bit of money for that one?
I would recommend not starting a sports network where you have to build, or a network at all, where you have to build a studio. I would not recommend it.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that in the vlog.
Just fucking
of
up.
the Disney upfront.
The whole Disney upfront story, though, I'm happy we have a video of that to remember it. Such a large fucking room there when you watch it.
Massive.
Gonna remember that. Talked about my daughter's farting in her.
Mm-hmm. It's that fuck.
It's good.
She's gonna be pumped to remember that. Let's go to another phone call. Let's go to Tim in Maryland. 500 phone line. What's going on, Tim?
Oh shit, Pat boys, I apologize. I'm mowing the lawn. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, happy you're working out there. What do you want to talk about, Tim?
All right. Well, first, huge congratulations to Dirty Gertie
God
on the
damn
announcement.
it.
He's starting to see what his miss is.
What?
That's
Thought
fucking
we
awesome.
weren't doing
Congrats to him.
congratulations.
Well, it's the first one for Dirty.
No. Connor. It was not for the show and for Pat. Okay. This is for Dirty.
It's for Dirty.
Relax.
Announced. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations,
Hell
Dirty.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hell yeah.
I heard congrats,
Connor,
and I said,
was
I'm
gonna
fucking
ask
done
you
with
to
it.
possibly officiate my. All right, fair enough. Connor, I was going to ask you to officiate my wedding, but because of you responded like that, I'm going to move on.
Perfect.
Wow.
Pat,
you missed out.
Wait. When's
you
the wedding?
missed out. You could have did this guy's wedding.
When's the wedding?
Wow.
When's the wedding?
It's in October.
I'm busy.
It's on a
I'm
Thursday,
sorry.
so wouldn't interfere with football.
October interferes with football.
Okay. My sister's birthday's in October, so I don't think.
It's on Thursday. It's on Thursday.
Well, guess what? There's Thursday football.
Thursday wedding?
Tim, high school, college, and NFL plays on Thursdays as well. There's a lot of football in October, but nonetheless.
I'm going to be honest with you. It's just cheaper to have it on weekdays and not on the weekends.
Oh, yeah. We understand. We love the move that you made, especially in October. What do you want to talk about, bub?
Well, Pat, you've talked plenty of times on this show about how you think, the Stanford boy would have really benefited from sitting behind possibly a veteran when he got drafted. Andrew Luck. God damn, I can't forget the snowboarding accident motherfucker's name. Oh, well.
Yeah, you're embarrassed.
Anthony Richardson just came to the Colts, and a certain quarterback who had Anthony Richardson on his list for backups that he would back up for, Cam Newton. Do you think Colts would possibly pick him up as an option to be a good mentor?
I like that. Yeah, you guys should definitely.
Interesting, Tim. That's an interesting question. I appreciate you calling in and asking it. They got Gardner Minshew, right? And I'm not saying Gardner Minshew has anywhere near the resume that Cam Newton does, but he does know the offense pretty good, has had success as a starter, has been through it all, and could probably benefit there. But I don't think they're thinking about bringing in another veteran quarterback, although I think Anthony Richardson and Cam have a great relationship, and it would be fantastic. That doesn't feel like a Chris Ballard move.
No, but you'd want to, right?
We got Anthony Richardson, buddy. We're not doing the whole retired, almost football player guy anymore.
Nope. Well, everyone
We're not watching highlights of the old days saying this guy's still great. I love Cam Newton.
Yeah.
I want Cam Newton on every team. If we didn't draft Anthony Richardson, I'd say, hell yeah, give us Cam Newton.
Bring him in.
Phil Rivers, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, man.
Carson Wentz, hell yes. Okay?
Yeah.
Bring it. We'd love everything about it. But instead, we drafted Anthony Richardson, and he's an absolute dog.
Yep.
So we're going to want him to know this team is his.
And you got
Gardner.
Ellinger,
Oh, that's Sam Ellinger. Yeah,
Ellinger
you're right. He's still in the
spinning.
squad.
Oh, there's Richardson.
Here we go.
Frog with a great snap. Shout out Frog. Going through.
Look how big he is.
Settle yourself.
He's huge.
Huge.
Yeah, pretty athletic too.
Let's see it.
Let's fucking hit it, pal.
Will Levis?
Yeah.
No.
Let's go.
Yeah.
There's the guy.
Let's go.
There's the guy.
Yup. Fucking yup. We got a guy.
You got the guy.
Wow.
Yes.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Holy shit.
Undefeated for sure.
We got the guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Congratulations, everybody else that drafted a quarterback or has one on their team. Welcome to the Anthony Richardson era. Went through that bag drill, touched one, didn't touch it again. Absolutely flawless on where the ball was being positioned in the pocket while he was under duress and he was moving. And then on the run, flick of the wrist, beautiful spiral.
Tight.
Thing looks like it came out of a jugs machine. Bardansky.
Yep.
Exactly what he was. Good luck, NFL, for the next 15 years. We got a guy.
Oh, man. That is gorgeous.
Dahn.
That is gorgeous.
Oh, AJ.
Hey, the ball does come out of his hand nice, man. He looks comfortable.
It's a feel-good Friday, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd say.
I haven't
I'm
felt this
thinking
good
so.
There you
about
go.
the Colts
I can't
in
wait
years.
to watch him.
Me too.
Oh, my good God.
Just watch out for the mascot, Foxy.
You know what there is? You know there's one thing left to do, right?
Huh?
Fucking pay the rest of that stadium off.
Yes.
And make that money back if they are 5.
Pay the rest of the stadium off.
Do what the Vikings did. Follow in their footsteps.
I don't even know if that's even in the.
No, because they don't even.
Yeah, you're right.
They're not, the Colts aren't even leasing it, right?
Yeah, it's not even ours.
Yeah, city.
That would be sweet if they had pull tabs, though.
It's renting.
I love that. You know, we posted that video explaining that the Minnesota Vikings paid off their debt or whatever of their loan like 26 years earlier, whatever it is. Saving $200 and some million from taxpayers' money, or that would be taken directly out of people's, that are added to people's taxes. And then you got people like Bruce out there going, yeah, but why don't you look into how they got that money to pay off that loan? They sold stuff to people.
What?
So who actually paid for it? It's like, well, excuse me, I didn't know that the Minnesota team was going to put a farm together for money trees, and they were just going to grow the money to fucking pay it back. I assumed at some point they were going to have to sell a product or something to customers to earn money, to pay money back.
What are we doing?
No, it was Minnesotans that bought it. It was like, they're the only ones buying the pull tabs? Are they the only ones that bought the jerseys? Are they the only ones that bought the tickets? Are they the only ones that bought the concessions? Are they the only ones that bought the beers? Are they the only ones that bought the parking passes? Are they the only ones that bought anything that goes into making money as a business in the NFL? Interesting. Well, look, they bought it off all the booze bags, all the beer. That's what they sold. It's like, yeah.
Sorry.
It's not getting taken out of everybody that isn't interested in the Vikings' taxes automatically and making everybody furious. They did a business move to earn money. That's crazy.
Before you know it, they're going to fucking use some of that money to pay Justin Jefferson, and that's fucking.
That's it.
It is Minnesota's money.
That's where we draw the line.
I like it. Do they have a 100% home attendance rate at their stadiums?
They're very high this year.
I'm saying. Yes, obviously they are selling that place out. I'm talking about only home fans in the entire stadium. Only Vikings fans. Not a single away team fan was in there at all.
Nope.
That's why I thought they did it on purpose so that they could fucking get only Minnesotans money.
That's right.
I think maybe the highest visiting fan rate was at Minnesota. Just off of how many Giants fans were at the away game.
Yeah, but it's not higher than the Chargers.
Or the Raiders.
Pull tabs, great business.
Full time's great business.
Yeah.
Great business.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about it today about how it's hard not to just start popping.
Oh, my God.
I love them.
Once you start doing it, and then it's so like kind of cheap, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Until it's not.
It quietly stacks up.
Yeah, and then you just, I can get one more. I can't win. I can't lose 10 straight.
Right. You got 20 bucks?
Give me another 20.
Give me another. I got to hit at some point, right?
Like Big Face Coffee.
Boom.
Once you pop, the fun don't stop.
Pringles, so good.
Got it. Oh. Underneath, you put one underneath. Oh, maybe bonus ball.
Bonus ball.
Oh,
Oh, still there.
Yeah, don't need it.
Right.
Not on this Feel Good Friday after watching Anthony Richardson throw that ball right there.
Unreal.
Goddamn right.
Right through the net.
Swack.
Hold on. Hold on.
How about if I go over with the basketball?
That'd be sweet. Nice.
Oh.
There's none.
This is it. This is the one.
Do it for Anthony.
AJ, what's this for right now? What are we doing?
What, 10 merches? What do you think?
10 merches. 15 merches.
15 merches.
20
11.
merches. 15 merches. 15 merches.
Okay.
Okay.
15 merches because Anthony Richardson is a certified dog.
Hell yeah.
You seen him on that drill?
Oh, yeah.
Look big.
How could you not watch that and think to yourself, oh, Colts, Super Bowl champions.
Rookie of the year.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Velocity.
Dart.
Frog with a snap.
Sure.
Oh, my God.
Nice
dude.
catch.
Both feet in.
Great catch by the equipment room. Frog with the snap. Hey! Dart to T. T's been catching footballs for the last 20 years at the Combine and for the Colts. Oh, my God.
Wow.
That ball placement.
Oh, my God.
They got a guy.
Quick release, too.
Oh, my God.
You got a guy.
Got the next Joe Montana.
Yes! Yes! It's all right. Still good.
Still good. You might as well sling one of those into the fucking.
It was never basketball. It was always football, just like Anthony Richardson. And
You're right.
Yep.
That's what it
Just
always
do what
was.
he just did.
It's hard for me, though, to, like, you know, like, I'm still going to be in such jovial spirits after watching those videos.
Oh, yeah.
Richardson. No matter what happens, it's ball.
Right.
You know, when I miss in other days, like, I'm genuinely disappointed that I missed. Why am I putting that on tape? Why am I letting down all the people? Why am I letting that moment not happen? Genuinely bummed. Today, it's going to be hard to find time to be bummed.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you got a guy.
You got a baby at home.
Yep.
Got a guy at quarterback.
Yep.
Holy shit, AJ.
That video might carry you for the next, I don't know, 3-4 months.
At least. Boom.
Wow.
See? There's always the ball.
I'm following your lead, Anthony Richardson. Coach to the Super Bowl. Woo! All right, 15 merches. All you can do is retweet this video and say something nice to somebody. It's a Feel Good Friday. You should do that anyways. Big thanks to Mitch Morris, Chuck Pagano, and Kenny Albert joining us today, and all the guests from this week. Everybody is so incredibly kind to us with their time when they come in and tell us their takes and their thoughts and their stories. We are very lucky to do this for a living. We hope you will join us on Monday for a big one.
Huge.
We got basketball finals reactions, hockey finals reactions, elevated golf tournament reactions. Let's go. Have an incredible weekend. Be nice to somebody. And goodbye.